3 African champions more than any other region. The first to bless the reigns, UFC 261 headliner Kamaru Usman. In 2019, he defeated Tyron Woodley, thereby making history for the green and white flag he so proudly dons in the octagon. A month later, his countryman Israel Adesanya became the second one to rise like Olympus, winning the interim middleweight title and then unifying the gold emphatically later that year. Then just 1 month ago, Cameroon's Francis Ngannou made the duo a trio, now undisputed as the baddest man on the planet, thus cementing Africa as the baddest region among UFC champions. Absolutely nothing that 100 men or more could ever do about that. Alright, so Kamaru Usman, one of 3 African-born UFC champions, 13-fight win streak is the singular longest in UFC welterweight history. And by the way, chasing down Anderson Silva potentially for the longest winning streak in UFC history. Takedown defense 100%. And how about this? Only fighter in UFC history with 10 or more appearances and 0 opponent ground control time. DC, what do you have for us when it comes to Kamaru Usman and the challenge in front of him tonight?
I mean, Kamaru Usman he's special, right? He has really just dominated the division since coming off the Ultimate Fighter and done things that we have not seen from George St. Pierre. And anytime you pass George St. Pierre in any category, that is extremely special. And Kamaru Usman is phenomenal. Let's look at his game a little bit. Let's get into my telestrator and look at the champ, Kamaru Usman. Now, here's one thing about Kamaru Usman. He's a guy that wants to press you. He's always going to take the back step. But as Usman enters into range, watch this. The one thing you forget about the size of the head.
Do me a favor, let me know if you guys can hear me.
He's willing to take one to get one. Look at the foot placement though on the southpaw. He's got it lined up and then bang, the right hand drops up. So he'll take
Beautiful.
to give you one.
Beautiful. I'm going to be on camera in just a moment.
In the division, both covered. And Kamaru Usman does that to him. Now look at him, Milneck. Milneck has him going backwards. But Usman doesn't escape going backwards. He goes left. He goes right. He's making all these things in order to change levels to get to his signature high front. He wants that leg right there. But look, as he's entering, next he's going to go with the pump. Boom. He gives the pump and I say leg. So it makes Beck take a pause for 1 second. When Beck pauses, Usman grabs the high front. And he runs the fight. Setting it on his foot right here. Taking it down towards the mat to finish the takedown. Beautiful Usman. I know Beck is on a guillotine, but Usman's so well versed. He just takes the time, escapes, and gets back to it. This fight was very difficult to solve for the fight Kamaru Usman. It looked fantastic at the weigh-in yesterday. Made weight easily, as did Jorge Masvidal. Now, Masvidal believes that the first fight coming in the 6-day notice did not give him a chance to show his true skills, but it did give us a chance to see how good he looked.
Woo! What is up? What is up?
In the first round, Masvidal was shining. He did a good job early. Right? And then that
You guys see rocking my Nigerian outfit today. Getting ready for Kamaru Usman to do his thing. Making sure that we are good to go. We are good to go. Today we're actually I'm actually expecting a guest. We'll see if he's gonna join us. He should be joining us anytime soon. But today I'm actually gonna have be watching this this main card with my jiu-jitsu professor. This will be my very first time watching a UFC event with him, so I'm super excited. And that's the whole entire point of me starting this fight companion. Like, I want to hang out with you guys, watch fights, have a good time. Let's get it. I will be looking down a little bit just because you guys can hear DC? Okay. All right. Well, we can't have that. We cannot have that because the UFC is going to completely butcher me if they start hearing audio. So let's make sure that we're not hearing that. I need this thing to. All right, let's see. Invest in safe Prioxis. What are you talking about, brother? I gotta get my phone. All right. Yo, Marshall, I was real impressed with Randy Brown's performance. One arm rear naked choke. That was impressive. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yo, Pry, thank you, brother. Thank you. All right, let's see. Yo, Marshall, did you watch Molina fight? I know him in real life. Just wanted to know what you thought about him. I actually wasn't able to see a majority. I wasn't able to see a majority of the prelims. You know, I was just trying to get my daughter to sleep, just make sure everything was set to go. But I saw a few of them, so forgive me if I don't remember exactly which one that you are talking about. All right, so we've got 400. We got 450 people in here. Can we get the likes up, please? Please, can we just can we get those beautiful likes up? I mean, you guys don't want to. You don't want to lag behind, you know, because like those ones that show up to dislike, they don't forget to do. I mean, look at this shit. We already got 10 dislikes in here. Let's get the likes up, people. Do we have any mods in here? Do we have any mods in here? I know I saw Pry. There you go. I know I saw Pryoxis in here. I don't know if Zayaf is in here yet. Alrighty. My man is almost ready. Woo! Uriah Hall is the next fight. Uriah Hall versus Chris Weidman. You know, when I made the fighter showcase that I made, I was talking about how Chris Weidman has already fought someone like Uriah Hall when he fought Anderson Despite. Oh look, Chris Weidman got the same haircut. Yo, Chris, are you trying to copy me, bro? Are you trying to copy me, Chris Weidman? Like, what is this, bro? Trying to copy the high fades? But yeah, I was talking about how Chris Weidman has already fought someone like Uriah Hall when he fought Anderson Silva twice, but I completely forgot that Chris has actually already fought Uriah Hall. They already fought once, and Chris Weidman beat him. I believe Chris Weidman actually knocked him out. It was either a knockout or a TKO or one of those, but Chris already beat him. So, I'm really curious to see how this one's going to play out. I think it's going to be really interesting. Of course, Chris, in my opinion, has the advantage. I think he's just more well-rounded, and we've already talked about this before. I feel like as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, I think he's going to be fine. You know, if he just stays the course, plays the game, you know, his game plan just properly, I think he'll be all right. It will be all right. Oh, yeah, Anthony Smith is next. What am I talking about? Anthony Smith is next. I'm actually, I'm a little bit worried for Anthony Smith on that one, though. But we'll see. Am I going to stream it? No, I'm not going to show the fights. You guys always ask me this every single time. I'm not going to show the fights. I will not be showing the fights at all. Michelangelo, what's up, brother? Thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm thinking Anthony Smith might end up losing this one. It's very possible. Adrian Pinder. Love you too, brother. Jackaroo MMA. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. By the way, you guys, just don't mind me. I keep looking down just to read the comments and stuff. The setup is just a complete. It's like I just Frankensteined everything together. You guys will notice I'm actually doing this on Zoom right now as opposed to directly through OBS because I'm expecting a guest. And so just fingers crossed everything works out. So one more thing, there's not going to be any fight clock. Sorry, I couldn't figure out how to add an overlay timer on Zoom. So there will be no fight clock today. But when the fights do start, I will tell you guys, like I'm going to do the countdown. I'm going to tell you guys what time I'm at. So if you guys want to sync up with me, you can do that. So yeah. Chris, loving the background. Yeah? You loving the vibe in the room? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I like it, man. It's just nice. It's got the candles going, got the humidifier, got the paintings in the background, got my baby girl right there. Got the lights. Just everything just feels so nice in here. I mean, this is where I spend most of my time working, and I figured I'd turn this place into a place I actually want to be in. What would your dream fight? What would be your dream fight? Like, what fight would I love to see? Right now it's actually two. It's one, John Jones versus Ngannou. I want to see that fight really, really bad. And GSP versus Khabib. If there's a way that they can make GSP versus Khabib, I don't know how they're gonna do it right now, just because Khabib is gone. He's most likely not gonna come back. GSP himself is also retired. We're most likely not gonna see GSP anymore. But if I could pick, it is those two fights: Khabib versus GSP, and then I need the UFC to find a way to make John Jones versus Ngannou happen. That fight needs to happen. It just has to. Is my volume low? Can you guys hear me clearly? Or do I need to turn up the microphone volume? Let me know. Beautiful. Oh ho, it's over. Oh boy, hold on. Let's not miss this. I know I bought this. Where is it? There it is. Yo, what the hell? The ESPN app is just such trash, man. I don't know if you guys have tried to use the ESPN app on the phone. It's abysmal. I actually left a review today, and I rarely ever do that. Like, I rarely ever, I don't like to be a Karen, oh my God, it's just terrible. You need to fix it. But like, geez Louise, man. Tried using the ESPN app, and it just horrible. Horrible for a company this big under Disney with the amount of money they make to have an app that is that bad. It's just, I feel like it's unforgivable. Yo, Braden Tucker, thank you for the 20, bro. Look at you, starting things off with a bang. Let's see if anybody can live up to that today. I doubt it, but it's good. A little crackly, but good. Thank you, brother. Okay, so a few of you are saying this shit's low. That should do it. Yo, JP, thank you. Yoel Romero versus Yoel Romero versus Anthony Johnson is another one. I mean, it's a lot of times these fights that is supposed to be a banger. It's like when you think about Yoel Romero versus Anthony Johnson, like you think it's just going to be just both of them just swinging power at each other. And sometimes it ends up working like that. Like when Paulo Costa ended up fighting Yoel Romero, it was exactly what we all hoped it was going to be. A complete insanity of a fight. But a lot of times these fighters are too afraid of each other's power that it ends up just not being what you expect it to be. Case in point, Francis Ngannou versus Derek Lewis. Now, I don't think the rematch would be that way, and that's probably what's going to happen, just because the UFC is not able to get things going with Jon Jones. It's most likely going to be Ngannou versus Derek Lewis next, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that the rematch will be better. All right, let's see. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Michelangelo, thank you for the $5, brother. He said, can't live up to that 20, but yo, I got Usman, Weili, and Shevchenko. Who you got? By the way, if Masvidal knocks out Usman, I am going to literally cry. So you guys get ready. Get ready. You might need to call me an ambulance. Call the Wambulance. You might need to call the Wambulance tonight. If Usman gets knocked out, I'm gonna pass out on this fucking chair, and you guys are gonna need to call 911. So, if you care about me, you better have 911 on speed dial. Made 2K, thank you for the $5. What were your thoughts on Randy Brown's performance? I believe if he can find a way to deal with the leg kicks more, he can easily be top 15. Very good performance. It's a very rare type of choke that he got, you know. So anytime you do anything rare in MMA, especially in MMA where just like almost everything has already been done, and yet you still find a way to shock the crowd, it's a good thing. Nicholas, thank you for the $2 donation. He says, love your videos, brother. Can you turn up your mic, please? I've turned up the microphone, man, as much as I'm going to turn it up. So, sorry about that. It is up. Craig Big Balls, thank you for the $5 donation. Usman TKO, Valentina TKO, Rose decision. I like those predictions. Although I don't think Usman is gonna get the TKO. I think Usman's gonna end up winning a decision. I don't remember the last time Masvidal actually got finished in a fight. It's been a while. I'm not saying that Usman does not have the ability to do it. I just think it's going to be a monumental task to finish Jorge. He's very tough. His grappling defense is actually a lot better than he showed last time. I mean, this is a man who was able to hang with Damian Maia. You know what I mean? So I think his grappling defense tonight is going to be a lot better than he showed the last time. I think it's going to be a more competitive fight. I think it will be more difficult for Usman. But I do think Usman has a lot more tools. I think it's going to be enough for him to get it done. I think it's going to be by decision. It might even be a split. All I'm saying is I'm not overlooking Masvidal. Like I don't think this is going to be a wash. You know, I don't think it's going to be like a 50-45 again. But we'll see, man. I mean, we'll see. I would like a 50-45. I would even like a finish, but we'll see. All right, who did I miss? All right, we are good. Yo, Daniel, let's see. It was great watching you roll with that blue belt. I saw some techniques being used that I had not seen. Yeah, man, appreciate that. I mean, I got completely trashed, but I'm working. We're getting better. We are definitely getting better. Like it's hard to measure your progress in jiu-jitsu because like everyone you roll with is also getting better. So you just feel like you're in the same place, you know what I mean? Like the guys that I started rolling with when I first got into it, a lot of them have also gotten better with me. So like if they were beating me in the beginning, they're still beating me now because they're improving as I'm improving as well. But anytime there's someone that doesn't come to class often, maybe we started at the same time, but they're not as frequent as I am. When we roll, it's like, okay, that's when I'm like, okay, I see my progress because, oh yeah. Yeah. And then I think back to where I was 4 months ago. It's like, if you put that version of me in a gi and have him roll with me right now, I would absolutely maul that version of me. And that's what it's about. It's just getting better, improving, making sure that, you know, you're always better than your last self. So I'm happy. Yo, Barry Armstrong, thank you for the $5 donation. Crute decision. Hall sends Weidman's soul to another. Valentina TKO 50-42 decision. Okay. All right. I like it. Bro Johnson, thank you for the $2 donation. When will I be streaming UFC 4? Probably in a couple days. But it's not going to be ranked. It's not going to be ranked. I'm just going to fight you guys. I'm going to get a couple matches in with you guys. It's probably going to be the John Jones match that I'm talking about, where I'm going to use John, and you guys can fight my John Jones over and over again. I think that's what we're going to do, but it's going to be in a couple days. CJ Goaded, thank you. I appreciate that, my man. Bro Johnson, let's see. I am the XQC guy from Twitter. Oh, I remember you. Thank you for the donation, my man. You're very active on Twitter. We talk like every day. I think we actually interact every single day. That's when I get on Twitter, we actually interact, so that's good. I really like that. What is your weight at? What's my weight at right now? I think right now I'm sitting at like 176 or so, something like that. Matt Page with the 24 large. Thank you, sir. What do you think about Weidman's comments on Izzy? What comments? You mean when he said that he's built to beat guys like Israel because Israel is like another Anderson Silva? Is that what you're talking about? If that's what you mean, then yeah. I mean, I see why he would say that. I see why he would say that. Whether it's correct, soon to be seen. Let's see. Daniel, you ask, does the place where you train have classes for children? Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. Children train with, we have a lot of kids training with us for sure. The kids' classes are usually before the adult classes. And a lot of kids, man. A lot of kids. That's exactly where my daughter will be training the moment she's old enough to. 100%. Okay. A lot of you keep asking me to turn the volume up. Just let me know when it starts to hurt your ear. This is it. This is as high as it goes, okay? This right here is as high as it goes. So Felt like stopping by. Thank you, sir. All right, let's see. Colin, thank you for the $2. Thank you. Thank you that I don't have to watch alone. You're welcome, my man. Uh-oh, somebody left 14 large. Ooh, my brother. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate that. It's been a while. Who you got for the main? Yeah, I've got Usman, man. I think Usman gets it done. That's what I think. I think he gets it done. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. 1 sec. Woo! Here we go. Can you hear me, sir?
Perfectly.
Oh, I hear you now.
Okay, awesome.
Now I do. So, we're actually live right now. I've been live for for a bit, just setting everything up. How you doing?
Good, man. I've been watching the prelims. I'm sure you have too.
I actually didn't watch all of them. Just yeah, I wasn't able to watch all of them. I saw the very first fight. Very first fight was insane. Like really, really good fight to start this card off, especially with the crowds back. But then afterwards, I had to go pick up my daughter and help her get to sleep. So, but we're here. Plus, I have everything recorded. I can just go back and watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of jiu-jitsu. So there's some nice. I don't want to spoil it for you. You missed some of it, but there's some really good, nice jiu-jitsu earlier. So.
Oh, really? Was it?
Yeah.
I bet it was like the women's fight, probably.
Well, of course, the first fight was just super exciting. People were just to hear the crowd again. I'm sure you got that vibe, that energy. But no, surprisingly, it was the guys' fights. There's some really good transitions.
Okay.
Some leg locks. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bet you saw that one arm. Was it a one arm guillotine?
I did
And
see that.
before, yeah, a lot of people are crazy about that one. It's very rare to see that in the UFC. Why is it rare to see a one arm guillotine?
Just because these guys are incredible athletes, and so the adrenaline, they just won't tap. So usually, it's hard to finish a one-arm guillotine. First of all, so if you're gonna finish it, you gotta be really tight, really technical, and then it drains the arm because you have one arm versus obviously two, but your hands are connected, and so. These guys, their adrenaline's high. They've been working a whole camp. It's really, really tough to finish that in general. You throw all the other variables for an MMA fight like this, yeah, it's going to be even tougher.
Okay.
Tougher like that.
Okay.
And the gloves don't help too. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It just depends on what type of choke they're going for. So, I'm pretty excited, man. It's going to be fun.
This is actually a really good one to start us off. Anthony Smith. I don't know. Have you seen a lot of Anthony Smith? Have you watched him a lot?
I have not.
Okay.
Anthony Smith is. So who's the favorite here?
My guess is Anthony Smith is the favorite. I haven't looked, but my guess is that he's the favorite. He's a really good fighter in this weight class. He's actually fought John Jones for the light heavyweight title. He got dominated. A lot of people don't think so. A lot of people look at it as one of John's bad performances, just because John did not kill him. But I mean, for most of the fight, he was in the fetal position anyway. So it's like, but besides that, this man has a win over Alexander Gustafsson. I don't know if you are familiar with Gustafsson.
I am.
Yeah.
I know who that guy is.
Yeah.
He had a really good fight the first time against John Jones.
Exactly, and I believe he beat him by a rear naked choke. So he's solid. He's really, really solid. And as long as he doesn't gas out like he did in his last fight against Glover Teixeira, I think he has the skills to get this one done. So we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, so now that you mention it, he does look familiar, and I do remember some of his highlights. And it's funny because he is from a city close to my hometown in Texas. So
Oh, okay. So for some reason they're saying that they can't hear you. Hold on a sec. First of all, Brandon, I think you're gonna have to turn up Tony's volume. Turn up Tony's volume.
let's try that. How about there?
Let me know if you guys can hear him.
Is that better?
They still can't hear you.
Okay.
Of course this was gonna happen.
And I got the brand new equipment too.
Got everything working. Thought I did. Okay.
You can hear me though.
Oh, I hear you. I think let me try. Yeah, let me try this here. All right, say something, Tony. Okay.
You got. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you guys let me know if you can hear him now. Let me know if you can hear him. There you go. They hear you now.
Better. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry. This is Tony Caceres, my jiu-jitsu professor, and we were just talking about say way louder. It's okay. It is okay.
Are you loud or am I loud?
I think I'm loud.
Oh. You sound good on my end, so.
Okay. So we're going to mess with this until we get it. No worries. No worries. I think this is it right here. We're going to leave it at this. I think I got it. Okay. There you go.
We're good?
We're good. We're
Okay.
good. We're good. The fight is about to start. Usually I put on a clock for these guys just so they can sync up with me, but that is the one thing I was not able to figure out. I wasn't able to figure out how to add a clock, like a virtual clock on top of Zoom. So we're just gonna have to work without it.
Okay.
Yeah, and occasionally I will be like reading the chat, so because they're typing, they're asking questions, they're donating like this. Brandon, thank you for the $20. That's way better. Good. Thank you, sir. Let's see. Austin, thank you for the $5. Love your channel. Thank you, sir. All right, folks, the fight is about to start here. I'm gonna do a countdown once it starts, just so you guys know exactly where I'm at. All right, so this is round number 1. We've got 456, 455, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49. Go ahead, try to sync up, and let's get it. Marshall, would you beat Jake Paul? Yeah, I'll take him down and choke him out.
That's right. That's right. He will not do an MMA fight because.
Well, no.
Yeah, he will not. He will not do an MMA fight.
He would. I mean, if he tried. Well, I mean, the thing though is Jake Paul he's so wealthy and so connected. And he's also an athlete, so with all his resources, and he also, I think he actually wrestled. Jake actually wrestled, so he's not a complete novice, though. So
no, but there is a video of him sparring in an MMA match with an MMA fighter. I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah, it's yeah. I'll send you the link, and I
Okay.
mean he does as you would imagine. He does as poorly as you would imagine, and he's fighting someone pretty small actually.
Uh,
So,
yeah, he's talking
uh,
about Tyron Woodley, which is just absurd.
yeah,
Absurd.
yeah, yeah.
S-
But people, they love entertainment, right?
Yeah, we'll see. So right now, uh, Anthony Smith is blasting this man with some sick jabs.
Yep.
Like he is on fire, and we're seeing a lot of this in MMA right now, which is kind of crazy. Just how far MMA has come. You would think at this point we would start seeing more fighters with better jabs, but just recently we're starting to see fighters really developing their jabs. Like just recently we saw Usman completely dominate Gilbert Burns with just a jab, right? And when GSP was the champion in the welterweight division, that was his go-to. And so it's really nice seeing that right now. Like, I mean, look at Anthony Smith. He's busting this man up with the jab.
Yep. It's like a boxing clinic.
Yeah, look at his face. It's all red. Let's see. Oh, is that your boy? He's fine. He's fine. Oh, he's
Yeah.
not shy right now. Hey, hello,
Say hi.
hi. Oh, he's shy.
He has no idea there's a lot of people watching, which is even funnier. It's because he is really shy.
Is he gonna put on his gi later? Once they start grappling?
I wouldn't be surprised. You want to put your gi on? We're not going anywhere, but do you want to put your gi on? No. He was asleep. He was asleep, but he woke up and came downstairs. He wanted to see what Dad was doing.
Oh,
So
yeah, you can. I mean, you can take a break whenever you want, man. Like you don't have
like,
to. You don't have to be on camera the whole time. It's fine.
yeah.
Just feel free. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I'm gonna go back to this. Okay. You want me to put you back in bed?
All right. So let's see. Ethan, thank you for the $5 donation. Always great to go back and watch your old video series like Big Belly Brawlers. Big respect. 2 questions. Uh, Opinions on Patty Pimlet. I actually don't know who Patty Pimlet is, bro. Sorry, but I have no idea who that is. I know I should, but I have no idea who that is.
Oh, low leg kick.
Who got leg kicked?
Smith landed a nice
Oh my!
low
He's
leg
done.
kick.
He's done. He's done. He's done. That leg is done. That
You
leg
see
is
it,
done.
right?
Oh yeah.
You see it.
Oh yeah.
And he's getting away with it right now because I think he knows if Smith can turn back into him. Yeah, that leg folded. It was just a simple low leg kick, and then he rushed Smith.
Got that takedown. I mean, that's desperation.
30 seconds left. I mean, he's doing a good job. But yeah, that leg is numb.
See, Anthony Smith, see what he's doing right there? He gets so comfortable staying turtled up like that. That is exactly what he was doing against John Jones. Like, John will put him in that position, and he would just stay in turtle, almost like he's playing jiu-jitsu, and it's weird. You know, almost like it's a jiu-jitsu match. Meanwhile, in MMA, I mean, you can just try to get up, get back to your
Let's
feet.
see. Let's see how he walks on it. Yeah. He's not well, man. He is not well. Yep, he can't even. He's done. Oh gosh. Are you see? Yeah, you're seeing
Yeah,
this, right?
yeah.
Yeah, he's. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna last.
The
Right.
nerves are gone. It's
You could see it from the initial. So he desperately shot and he overwhelmed him. Check out this replay.
dude.
Nice, easy low kick, and
might-
it just.
You might actually be ahead of me. What the? Hold on. I think you're actually ahead of me.
Oh really? Am I a few seconds up?
Just a few seconds. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Wow. His leg just stopped working on him.
His leg is done. All right, I'm gonna put him to bed real quick, and I'm
Go
gonna
right
come
ahead.
back. But yeah, he can't stand on that. He's done.
They might have to stop it.
Yeah, he's done. Yep. Yeah, he's done. He shouldn't be upset. I mean, this is
Fight is done.
Yeah, fight is done.
Fight is done.
He can't walk on that.
No,
That
no,
leg kick was just a beautiful leg kick.
no. I'm glad they stopped it. That was a very good stoppage right there. Very good stoppage.
Yeah, that was smart. He could barely.
Here we go. That one's done. You gonna go put him to sleep?
Yeah, just give me a minute. Let me go put him to sleep real quick. I'll
Okay.
be right back.
Go ahead. Anthony Smith got it done. Yes, he did. All right, folks. Are you entertained? Yeah, a freak injury, man. Sometimes it happens like this, man. Sometimes it happens like this. Just one perfect leg. This is very similar to what happened to Sean O'Malley. One perfect leg kick, boom, done. I mean, he literally can't stand on the leg. It's just giving out on him. He tries to put weight on it, it just gives out. Crazy. Yep, it's going to be a TKO due to doctor stoppage. Anthony Smith is the winner. Anthony Smith. Who won? Anthony Smith won. Anthony Smith won the fight. Yeah. Fresh kid. That replay is hard to watch. Yeah, it is, bro. It is. It is so difficult to watch anytime there's like limb damage, whether it's someone's arm getting broken or someone's leg getting completely fucked. It is difficult to watch, right? It's so much harder to watch than KOs. It's so weird. It's almost like yeah. Oof. It's just cringe, man. It's just. But he's got heart, man. He really wanted to continue. He shot that takedown immediately. The man was just adrenaline pumping through his veins. Shot that takedown immediately. Look at this beautiful double leg. Put Anthony Smith on his back, even though his leg was completely dunzo. That's a fighter right there. But yeah, Anthony Lionheart Smith back in the winning column. Good. Crazy how he got the takedown. Yeah. Yeah. Alberto, what's up, brother? How you doing? You said Anthony Smith is on a 2-fight win streak? No, I don't. I think his last fight was against Glover. I'm pretty sure his last fight. Well, it's either his last fight was against Glover or it was against Rakic. I think it was against Alexander Rakic, but I don't actually remember if he beat Rakic. I think he did. Oh my god, I'm completely drawing a blank. I think his last fight was against Alexander Rakic, and I think wait, he beat Devin Clark. Did he fight Rakic? Did he fight Rakic before he fought Glover? Or after he fought Glover? He lost to Rakic after Glover. Okay. 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 Well, here we go.
And I'm back, Marshall.
Welcome back. Is he back? Is he back asleep?
He's back relaxing. He
Okay.
wakes up and just wants to make sure I'm around.
Okay.
This was a great fight. Smith dominated with jabs, came in with a low leg kick. Um, it was, I mean, he put on a clinic.
That leg kick, dude. Like we're starting to see that. We're starting to see that a lot, man. Just leg damage due to leg kicks. I don't know if you saw the fight with Sean O'Malley where that happened to Sean. You saw that?
I did, and that he's saying it was kind of a freak accident, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, those leg kicks, if they're landed where they're supposed to at the right time, that's what it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I respect for that fighter. He's amazing. But those leg kicks, and I think his stance looks like almost like a traditional karate stance.
Yeah.
That leg is out there,
Yeah.
kind of showing it. Same thing happened to. Do you remember the first fight between Machida and Shogun?
The very first one?
The very first one, he just kept eating those leg kicks because of that white stance.
Right.
And you have that wide stance,
Right.
you're giving that front leg. So it's a trade-off. You have quicker shots, quicker snap kicks, but that lead leg gets eaten up a lot, and that's kind of what happens. But
Have you seen every single Shogun fight?
no.
Not all of them. Most of the
No.
Pride ones.
Oh yeah. You're talking about like 100% all of them? No, but all the Pride ones, yes.
Okay.
The early UFC ones, yes. And then after he was kind of done, I just couldn't watch anymore. Yeah, my heart would get a little broken every time.
That's kind of how I am with Junior Dos Santos. When Junior Dos Santos was completely dominating, I wouldn't miss a fight. But lately, I'm just like, he's just gonna get KO'd again. He's gonna get TKO'd again, and it gets really hard to watch.
It does, especially when you're connected, right? You're just like, you follow the fighter for so many years. It is hard to watch. I hate to rub it in, but I saw the last one's live.
Really?
Yes. It was when it was in North Carolina.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
I almost went to that, but then I couldn't go. But I'm glad I didn't.
yeah, because I'm a big fan too. He had a great career. Some of his earlier fights were just amazing. How he just had that knockout power and he just come in.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shogun definitely is one of my top. And so when that started happening, it's just, a handing of the baton, right? The future needs to get theirs, and when the older generation of fighters kind of pass it on, same thing happened with Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
We all kind of sensed it. We were all kind of, it's a matter of time. And the really, really smart ones, not that these guys aren't smart, speaking of Anderson Silva, the really, really smart ones, right, speaking of, they retire when they're on top, right? Habib, GSP, they just know, hey, if I wait a few more years, it's not going to be my time. So I need to go out now. Yeah. So
everyone loses eventually. They all do. I mean, look at BJ Penn.
Oh my gosh, that's another one.
I think
that's another one.
You guys in the comment section, one of you look it up. Tell me, how many losses in a row does BJ Penn have right now?
No, yeah.
If you had to guess, what would you say? If you had to guess,
8.
8. Okay, I'm actually gonna go with 10.
Oh man, that's so sad. So sad. Sad one of us is close to being right. Because I was a big BJ Penn fan.
It is abysmal.
What is it?
People are saying, oh Jesus, they're guessing. Look it up. Okay, Priox, it's 7. So you're real close. But seven losses in a row. This is a man who was a champion.
Do you know how when he became a young martial artist? Do you know what instead of sending him off to college, they sent him off to get training, and he got his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt in 3 years.
Yeah.
First American to win worlds. He came in. If you see his first MMA fight, I think he was amazing, and yeah, it was really sad to watch. And it started slowly with the Frankie Edgar fight.
Yeah.
And then after that, he just could never get it back. It almost messed with him mentally. I feel like the more he fought, the worse he got.
Yeah.
And I think because he was just not accepting
That it was
this
over.
new generation. Yeah. Or maybe just trying to evolve as a fighter. Because he was traditionally, if you look at his style, he was a boxer who did really well with jiu-jitsu, but he never really focused on his wrestling as he should.
Yeah.
He didn't really mix in kicks. So his style worked for him, but at some point they caught up to him. But
Yeah.
that's another sad one.
but dude, does it make any sense that someone could get a black belt in 3 years? How much jiu-jitsu would you need to be doing to get a black belt in 3 years?
So yeah, I mean, it's like they used to tell us, when you fight some of these guys, they train once a day, all day. So that's it. You know, they're like, oh, they train once a day, and you look at them and you're like, are you kidding me? It's like all day. They train all day. And so yeah, he definitely justified it when he won the world championships. Soon right after, I think it was 2000, first American ever to win it.
That's crazy.
And then he was just really, really focused on MMA at the time, and he had a great career. If you look at, he went all the way up to light heavyweight, I think, and he's a small guy, so he wasn't in his best shape.
He fought Machida at light heavyweight.
Yes, all the way up to light heavyweight. He went all the way down to 145. So he was another one that I grew up watching.
Yeah.
He's one of the influences to do martial arts, early on, and that was hard watching. I'll say his last fight against Ryan Hall, was that his last fight or second to last fight?
I think it was the last one. He got submitted quick.
But I followed Ryan Hall's career. It's funny, I knew these guys because of jiu-jitsu more than I knew them from MMA, and I remember Ryan Hall was popular for being the purple belt who could submit black belts.
Wow.
This was back then. Yeah, we followed his career very closely. So it was fun to watch him go up the ranks, make it to the Ultimate Fighter, and then fight in the UFC. And so when he beat BJ Penn in that fight, I wasn't completely sad because it made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Dern's another one. All these grapplers getting into the UFC.
There's another one, Chris Weidman, about to put on a show. I hope, fingers crossed. I mean, I'm a huge fan of this guy, but he's had just bad. Hold on a second. Let me read this super chat here. Yo, Vex Blazer, thank you for the $5. I see you with the clothing. Naija, stand up. Heck yeah. Let's hope. I mean, it would be kind of crazy to watch Usman lose tonight. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, huge fan of Chris Weidman. Another guy that a few of his losses, I just feel just shouldn't have happened. For one, that loss against Luke Rockhold, he was winning the fight. He makes a mistake by throwing a wheel kick. It was just bad technique. Just you could tell that he wasn't proficient with the technique. He doesn't do it often, but he threw it for some reason. He missed and ended up under Luke Rockhold. I don't know if you follow Luke Rockhold a lot. Luke Rockhold in the middleweight division, he might have the best top game in the UFC, besides Khabib, of course. But his top game, his pressure, just insane, and he completely demonstrated that against Chris Weidman. Grounded the man in full mount and just pounded his face in and beat him. A fight that he was winning. And then, of course, Chris Weidman goes on to fight Yoel Romero. Same thing. A fight that he was winning. He makes one mistake, runs into a flying knee, gets KO'd flat. Like that one was bad. Face completely busted out, bleeding all over the place. Then another fight, he's fighting Jacare Souza. He's beating Jacare, and then as the fight is about to end, like a few seconds left in the last round, Jacare hits him with a cross on a temple and knocks him out. So at least 3 fights, in my opinion, that he should have won, but he lost just due to him kind of just losing focus in there, getting a little bit lax. Now, I'm worried that's going to happen tonight again because the dude he's fighting, Uriah Hall, I don't know if you've seen Uriah Hall a lot. Explosive, unpredictable, creative. he could throw something out of nowhere and catch Chris, and it scares me. It really does.
A lot of times these fighters almost forget what made them get to the place that they're at in the first place, and then they try to become almost something they're not. And
Yeah.
I'm talking about stylistically. I would like to go back and analyze those fights because I remember seeing the highlights of this, and I remember thinking, what happened to Weidman? This guy
Yeah.
was like the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, not only did he beat Anderson Silva, right, but he knocked him out, and the way he came in. So sometimes though, if we start to really look at it, he was beating you know, kind of a finished version of Anderson Silva. That wasn't the Anderson Silva that we remember 15 years ago, right? And so maybe he thought, well, I'm probably a knockout guy and I could start focusing on my striking. And then he goes away from his wrestling because this guy's an amazing wrestler. And you could see it, that tattoo on his right shoulder as he wears it proudly.
What is that actually?
So that is the logo for USA Wrestling. It's a logo for wrestling. So it's he's got it tattooed on his back to showcase, hey, I'm a wrestler. I'm here to represent wrestling. And so that sometimes happens in a lot of fights, right? A lot of fighters, they start to knock people out and they lose sense of how they got to MMA in the first place. A good example was Rashad Evans.
Right.
He had an amazing wrestling base. He would take you down, ground and pound, and then he knocked out a very
Chuck Liddell.
That started with Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell was on his way out. The sport had grown and evolved, and so then Rashad Evans is trying to outstrike strikers, and he's having a hard time keep up with that.
Yeah.
It happens, and so
Almost happened to Damian Maya.
you know where I was going with that, right?
Yeah.
Threw a weak leg kick, gets knocked out, and then his coach is like, all right, use your striking to go to the ground.
Yeah.
Stop trying to throw these kicks, man. And he kind of resaved his career by going back to his roots, which was, in his case, jiu-jitsu. I'd like to see Weidman do some more wrestling here. I'd really like to see him you know, take some shots, take him against the cage, do some dirty boxing. But let's see, you know, that sometimes they don't go back to the roots and they end up still trying to find this new identity of a fighter. So it'll be interesting to watch tonight. Uriah Hall obviously is amazing and athletic and explosive. So it's gonna be a good one.
And that's why Khabib is undefeated. He never left what he was good at. Every single fight, you know what he's gonna do, he goes and does it. All right, here we go. So round number 1, Chris Weidman versus Uriah Hall. Uriah doing a very good job of that is unbelievable.
We just talked about it. That
is unbelievable.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
The chances of that happening, man.
That's unbelievable. Chris Weidman just broke his leg the same exact way Anderson Silva broke his leg.
But on his own. This was a freak accident. This rarely happens. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate for both fighters. You don't want to go out like that. And then if you're fighting someone, you don't want them to go out like that. You want to have a good long fight and make sure that it goes the distance.
Yo, this one hurts a little bit, man. Honestly, like.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, that was.
Come on, bro. Are you kidding me? He threw one leg kick and broke his leg.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because right before you talked about just having bad luck almost.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know what it is about Weidman, man. Like the dude just has the worst karma ever. Bad luck, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. It's almost like it's a weird feeling to sit here through this and just see and try to analyze what just happened. Here we go. Replay.
I'm not watching the replay, dude. I can't watch this, dude. Like,
oof. You're right. It's exactly the same way it happened to Anderson. Yeah. It was that's so weird.
Jesus, man.
Now a lot of people say that when you do Muay Thai, for example, there's a lot of nerve endings on that shin, and if you keep doing it long enough,
Yeah.
you kill those nerve endings, right?
Yeah.
Like you destroy them. And
Yeah.
people say, "Oh, you're getting tougher," but really, what's happening is you're killing the nerve endings, so you don't feel it anymore. So you keep going, and remember, nerve endings are there to help you. They're pain receptors. They're gonna let you know, hey, you're doing too much. You need to stop. And so when you keep kicking a bag, focus mitts or whatever, you're weakening that part of your body. And to some people, they think they're strengthening it, and it's actually the opposite. And so that's something to note about this, because this is not the first time we see this type of injury. Obviously, Anderson Silva was the big first time because he's a popular fighter, but this actually happens a lot. Earlier I said the chances are very rare for it to happen on the first kick of the opening round. That's something, but you're starting to see this a lot. You see it a lot in kickboxing, and as you know, in Thailand, the Muay Thai fighters, they start really young. They don't make it very far. In fact, they have trouble walking and stuff.
Damn, man.
Probably scaring people from wanting to do Muay Thai.
I'm
not telling you not to do it.
No,
do
it's
it.
Look, I've said this on my channel a million times. Muay Thai is good for whatever it is good for. But in terms of practicality, the damage it does to your body, and then you compare it, like, for example, jiu-jitsu. You learn jiu-jitsu, you learn a solid self-defense martial arts that makes you dangerous, but you're not killing your body. You know what I mean? Like, the most that could happen is maybe your arm gets hyperextended a little bit, maybe something gets bruised a little bit, you take a few days, it recovers, but you're not having catastrophic injuries like this. And we're rolling hard every single training. So it's, oh my God, man. This is nuts. This is so nuts. The fact that it happened to Chris, this is the same guy that beat Anderson Silva like this. The fact that this happened to him. I mean, he's in agony right now, bro. They're going to shoot this man up with some serious painkillers because he's in agony right now.
Yeah. It's going to take at least a year just
to
recover from that.
Oh, yeah.
At least, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's tough.
When it happened to Anderson Silva, Anderson was, I mean, you could hear his scream. Like, it was blood curdling, the scream coming from Anderson Silva, man. Mm-hmm. Jesus. It's just insane, dude. Insane.
Going back to what we talked about, it's, as you get older, those leg kicks, you keep, those nerve endings. It's tough, man. It's tough, especially when you're not coming from that background. You've known as a wrestler. It was just a matter of time for his legs to give out like that, I guess.
This scares me for John Jones too. It scares me. Like, I'm surprised it hasn't happened to John, because John has comically small calves and he kicks all the time. It's all John Jones does. He kicks the skull, he kicks your shin, he kicks your arms, he's just trying to block. Like, every time John steps in the octagon, I'm afraid that one day he's going to throw a kick and that will happen to his legs.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Like,
yeah, it's, and if you talk to, in martial arts, you're a martial artist, I'm a martial artist. You have to have these conversations with other martial artists from other disciplines. And one thing I've heard from the, more of the traditional martial arts like karate, taekwondo, is they talk about this. They say, hey, a snap kick is better than a Muay Thai kick because of the health concern. Yeah. Because they're not going to be crippled when they're older, right?
Yeah.
And you might have Thai fighters disagree, but I'm sure those Thai fighters are wearing shin pads. They're probably nice and guarded. But if you look into the history of Thai fighting with Muay Thai fighters, it's really hard on the body. Going back to what you were saying, jiu-jitsu is popular, one, because it's effective, two, because it's easy on the body. I remember 10 years ago, I was doing Muay Thai classes in jiu-jitsu, and I love the Muay Thai classes. And people often ask me, why'd you stop? And it's like, because I don't want to get punched in the face, and because jiu-jitsu is just easier on the body. Yeah. If I have to prepare for a tournament, I'd much rather prepare for a jiu-jitsu tournament, and I'm still able to do it well into my 30s. So, looking at traditional martial arts and analyzing a snap kick, well, you're not seeing this damage on the shin like that. I mean, that's tough, man.
Damn.
That's tough. That hurt me,
dude. That was hard. That was hard to watch. That was hard to watch. Walk through man, aka Jack. Thank you for the $5 donation. What's my prediction for the main event? I think Usman is gonna win. It probably won't be too dominant. I think he might win a split decision. Maybe I'm hoping for a dominant win, but I'm not like holding my breath for that. Oh boy. Dang, man. Gross. Yeah, people were saying, imagine if there was no audience and we heard the break.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad that there were audience that, jeez Louise.
Yeah. That's a good, yeah.
That just ruined the whole entire mood, bro. I feel like that just ruined the whole entire mood. Like,
yeah.
Like we gotta go back. We gotta go back to being excited for the fight, but
we gotta regroup. I mean, the fights tonight started with those two females in the beginning. Man, that was such an exciting fight, and then it went through ups and downs, and then we have Weidman going out like that. But he's not done. He'll be back.
You think?
I think so. I mean, he can't. Okay,
he's almost 40.
Yeah, and his style of jiu-jitsu, wrestling, fighting is very, very rough. I'm a firm believer in the physical connected with the mental, right? So if he's had a bad string of luck the last few fights, there was a lot of pressure today. The body is just amazing how it calibrates everything, how it intakes the stress, the subconscious, the stress, the conscious stress. And that may very well have been a pile of like years of all this stuff building up, along with the physical stuff he's been going through with, training. So yeah, I mean, I'm being hopeful, aren't I? Saying
yeah,
I'm being hopeful. He can come back, right? He can, a year from now come in, not throw a single leg kick, maybe have 2 years left, or he could probably just call it quits. I mean, he had a great career. He held the title, right? He defended the title a few times, didn't he? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean,
he's good. I think he's good. He's good. He's got everything. Well, I don't want to speak for the man. We don't know what his goals for MMA was, but I feel like, from where he started off, I mean, living in his parents' garage, not having a lot of money, to beating the greatest of all time at that time, Anderson Silva, when nobody thought that he could, being 10-0 to knock out Anderson Silva, and then beat him again, although just like this, where he checks it.
Yeah.
Just crazy. But then he beat Machida, and then he beat Vitor Belfort. So he defended the title. I believe he defended the title either 3 or 4 times. He defended that belt before losing it to Luke Rockhold. So if he calls it quit, man, he's done. He's done it. It's just crazy, dude.
Yeah.
And for sure, if he was to come back, he's not doing leg kicks anymore. Because if you remember when Anderson Silva came back, he
boxing,
was like
back to boxing.
Exactly. So
back to boxing.
Damn.
And the thing about Anderson Silva though is like he was known as a Thai fighter,
yes.
right? You remember his fights with Rich Franklin?
Oh yeah.
He'd go in there, clinch, and just let them eat knees. I mean, that was his game. For Weidman, we talked about it, right? He came in a wrestler, grappler. I like to get in your face. He knocks out Silva. Then the freak accident, which we didn't really talk about, which was crazy. And then his style slowly changes over the years. I wonder how much of that played into it. I wonder if, I don't know. I think there's so many questions more than answers. But, he's such a good guy, too. I've seen his interviews.
Chris Weidman, yeah.
Such a good guy. You hate to see his career end like that if it does end. But who knows? It's really going to come down to what doctors tell him, what his family thinks is best. And like you said, what are his goals? I mean, he accomplished a lot. A UFC title, that's a lot in itself. A UFC career is a lot in itself. So.
He's wealthy. His family is taken care of. Man, if he, oh my God, dude.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one, right? Let's try to regroup. Let's try to, try to see if. Yeah, that's tough. There's a lot of people that sometimes think they can get in that octagon, and they look at an experience like this, and then they're like,
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna stick to
Yeah.
my day job.
People always ask me, why don't you want to go and get into MMA? I'm like, because I like my body the way my body is. I like my limbs intact. I like the fact that I have both my eyes. I don't want to get my eye poked out in there. I don't want to get.
Have you seen some of those injuries?
Yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah.
like a full jab
Yeah.
with that. And those
Yeah.
guys have long fingers.
Yeah.
And point deep into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
No,
we're good.
thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll do jujitsu. I'll compete in jujitsu, but anything that involves me walking into an octagon half naked with another man punching me in the face and kicking me in the leg, no, I'm good, bro. No.
Yeah, it's literally the toughest sport in the world. I
Yeah.
mean, these are modern day gladiators.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for these guys. And I understand what it takes to get there because I've trained with MMA fighters. I have friends, close friends of mine that train MMA, and they're the same guys that go to jiu-jitsu. It's just a different amount of training. It's a different frame of training than anything you're going to do out there. Whether it's football, soccer, even those are great sports too, but MMA is it is the toughest sport, right? And so that's the expectation. If you're going to do something like MMA, there's the trade-off of the good, but there comes the risk with the injuries and the different things you can do.
It's just just from what I experienced when I roll, was like jiu-jitsu on its own is hard enough. You add elbows on the ground,
Yeah.
punches on the. It's like, jeez, it's just no. And the fact that you're fighting in front of millions of people, the pressure of that. I mean, just the psychology alone of what it takes to be a fighter. It's just crazy. The fact that if you get KO'd in there, that lives forever. People type in your name on Google and an image of your face all comes up. It's like,
Man,
dude.
It's like, yeah, you know what? You're exactly right. Look at Ben Askren. Ben Askren had an amazing wrestling career. Not even MMA. Let's just talk about wrestling. The dude was an Olympian. Won collegiately. People don't realize how good his wrestling, how great his wrestling is and was. And then even his MMA career, his title defenses. I still remember when he slammed one of the grapplers who decided to pull guard on him for whatever reason. And then he gets knocked out, obviously more than once now, but the knee knockout first. I mean, that they were just playing it today, right?
Yeah.
It was going viral,
Yeah.
like a flying knee.
Yeah.
And it's like every accomplishment he did didn't matter. Everyone that Googles his name is gonna be like,
The knee.
oh well, he the knee,
Yeah.
the knee. And then now you got this whole stuff with Jake Paul and stuff. So
Crazy, dude.
yeah. So it's just unfortunate. You're absolutely right. It's just another. And it was funny because if Ben Askren did a super wrestling match with Jordan Burroughs, who's like multiple world champion, won the Olympics. I don't know if you're familiar with Jordan Burroughs. And at the interview, Burroughs is on his way out from wrestling, and he's about to retire soon, if he hasn't already. But I'm pretty sure it'll be soon. And Burroughs asked Ben Askren, he's like, "Hey, your wrestling is different now because you're focusing on MMA. I'm focusing on wrestling rules for wrestling. But how would you say I would do in a career in MMA?" And Askren is, "Oh, you would do great. Unfortunately, it's gonna take you a while because you have to relearn how to use your wrestling. You got to relearn to use the octagon." Incorporate the strikes and stuff like that. So it's he told Burroughs it's going to take you a while, and so sometimes that could be discouraging. But yeah, you're right, man. That's one of the reasons I didn't do it either. In jiu-jitsu, you just tap. It doesn't look as brutal.
Exactly.
You're good, but in MMA, you get caught once, and now I've trained MMA. I've trained it, and yeah, it makes you respect it a whole lot more because jiu-jitsu is jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu with strikes is another form of jiu-jitsu. So it's which I think is good. People should be training.
So someone has a question for you, Daniel. He says, have you ever competed in a baddest blue competition? What is that?
Baddest blue competition. I don't know. I want to say, I think, are those the, I mean, he would know this obviously because he's asking. Those are the, like, they do like a tournament of just blue belts. Over the years, they've been incorporating more. And so they go, hey, bring your biggest blue belt. And, you know, and they do like, it's like a weight cutoff. So not necessarily a weight class. I think that's what he's talking about. So he's asking if I ever did one.
I hope he's not trolling, because sometimes people be trolling. So let's hope he's not trolling. We'll see. He says submission only competition for blue belt.
Okay. So I did a tournament when I was a blue belt. It was a round robin, submission only, no points, and you fought everybody. So I had about 12 matches in one day, and I won one of them actually. This is a long time ago, and in that one I was outweighed because the weight cutoff was one. You had to weigh up to 155, and I was like 135.
Dude.
And I fought everyone. The first time I did it, I got fourth place. I still remember. The second time I did it, me and my teammate actually we went together, and I gave him the win so he can get the first place. But
Okay.
we actually both made the finals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that I did one of those. Nope, it's no points. It's submission only. Now they have more submission only tournaments. I haven't done one since then, probably.
I think for the sport of jiu-jitsu, I think they're better. Just as a spectator, just watching, like if you don't know what you're really seeing, just
For
because
sure.
it's more
Yeah.
interesting. Because like I'll be honest, man, like Leandro Lowe, he's super good at jiu-jitsu, but man, he's so frustrating to watch.
Oh yeah.
Leandro Lowe is frustrating to watch because his whole entire game is built around the point system. Like that's it, completely built around the point system. And I don't know, but
Well, you're right. You're right. Like, so his style, yeah, you don't see him do a lot of submissions, right?
Yeah,
he's almost like he's wrestling. He's just trying to like
he wants
take
to
you down and pass
and sweep.
I went to a training camp actually in the Bay Area one year, and he was there, and I got to see him train behind the scenes. I didn't get to train with him. That would have been cool because they kind of separate the smaller with the bigger weight classes, so that way people don't get hurt.
Right.
And I'll never forget this. He would train hard. I mean, he's going hard. He'd walk to the side and he'd chug soda, Coca-Cola. That was his pre-workout. I thought it's insanely unhealthy, but whatever, you know, if it works for him. He was also young enough to probably get away with it. But
Wow.
yeah, that was Leandro Lowe. But I agree with you. I think submission-only tournaments are great. It gets people involved emotionally. It gets exciting because you're going for the submission. You're trying not to just like win by points because there are no points. And if you still don't win by submission, the referees kind of know who dominated the fight a little bit. Some calls can be questionable like everything else, but you know, at the end of the day, the rules are going to dictate the training. So people are going to get really good at the submission-only format because it's going to make them focus on those techniques.
Yeah.
And then the point system is going to really make them focus on those positions so they can kind of secure points and dominate.
Gotcha.
I try to train all of it, right? Position before submission, really focus on submissions, because in my jiu-jitsu, I want to make sure that if I'm dominating the match in a good position, then I would do well in MMA or in a real fight. So that's kind of how I've always seen it. If I'm in a mount position, I don't necessarily have to armbar you if I can knock you out, right?
Right,
so
right.
There's that too, that argument, or in submission only, they want to see like an armbar, a triangle. And so I get both points. I think they're both valid. It just depends on the person training both. As long as you keep training the positions and you keep training submissions, then you're good.
Yo, Mike Sinatra, thank you for the $10 donation, my man. Marshall Mine versus Jake Paul, 3 MMA rounds. No. No. I'll roll with Jake Paul, but anything that involves striking. I mean, do you see how big that dude is?
He's huge, man. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
Weight classes, and you know he's
he's
serious about boxing. This rubs people the wrong way because everyone really wants to believe that he's a complete joke. But it's like, again, he's a rich guy with unlimited resources, and he is taking boxing seriously. He's training hard. You can see that. So, as much as everybody wants to believe that he's just this big fat joke, he really isn't. He's a dangerous guy. He's a dangerous guy. You gotta respect that.
And you know, in the boxing world, he's really good for an amateur, right?
Yeah.
Like he's putting in the time and the work, and
Yeah.
he's very smart how he markets his matches because he's calling out people that aren't very good at boxing, and the fighters who know the fight fans, the people who have been in it in a while, they're not dumb. They know what's going on. You know, so like I said, it's the entertainment business.
Yeah.
You could always do what Randy Couture did to James Toney, right?
Just shoot a low single and choke him out.
Choke him out. But don't throw one punch. I mean, you could always do that. But you said he wrestled.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
That'd be. I'm gonna watch his match on YouTube. He does an MMA sparring match, and obviously he gets destroyed.
Okay.
But he knows his place. I think even in that video he's humbled. I think this is all part of the act.
Yeah.
You know? It's
Yeah.
all part of the act. People. And they get emotionally involved too.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I can't believe he said this.
Yeah.
He needs to be humbled. And behind the scenes, he probably knows the truth.
He's probably humble as hell behind the scenes.
Yeah.
He probably is. Yeah.
It's funny.
All right. Let's see. Mike says, thank you for $10, bro. You are on fire, my man. Mosh, what did you say here again? Let's see. Totally off topic, but how do you feel about Kevin Samuels? You know who Kevin Samuels is?
No, Kevin. Who's Kevin Samuels? Educate me. Who's that?
No, he's Kevin Samuels is a brother who just took the whole internet by storm right now. He talks about high value men. Basically has a show on YouTube where he gives the male perspective in a way that very few people do. And it's very raw. It's very offensive to the sensibilities of the classic, you know, liberal American who doesn't like anything that hurts their feelings. So he's super brutal to both men and women. His whole entire thing is about, it's kind of similar to the Jordan Peterson, except a lot more like offensive.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So
well, I mean, Jordan Peterson's pretty offensive to some people, right?
Exactly. So I mean, I like Kevin Samuels. I'll just say it. I'll just say that.
Okay, I'll check him out. I had no idea who he was.
Yeah.
But then, you know, we can be offensive to some people. So
Exactly.
This day and age, anyone could be offensive.
Yeah.
So
Here we go.
We are.
This is an interesting one right here because, she starts off with a leg kick. Oh, she's bold, bro.
After watching that, right?
She's bold. I just saw somebody's leg get broken, but I'm going to start off with a leg kick. Okay. Yeah, I think this fight might be similar to Jessica Andrade versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk, because Joanna just stayed at a distance and just picked her apart. I think this might be very similar to that. Because Valentina, man or woman, she's one of the best fighters in the world, 100%.
I was looking at her highlights, man. She is just technically sound.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Like her forecasting of movement, when to anticipate. It's like she's fighting blindfolded, you know? She could just feel the movement.
Yeah.
That takes years to develop, that type of time. Look at nice.
And look at the distance she's keeping, too. This is oh, there's a takedown. Oh, she will shoot and grapple, too. There it is. Side control right away.
Yeah, good control. Beautiful, man.
So, takes her down again.
Good technique. That hip body lock is very frustrating if you're in that position. So she's doing a good job hiding her face. Very hard to get elbowed like that.
Okay.
Kind of reduces the damage.
Okay. So from this position right here, Jessica, she should be trying to focus on peeling the hands, right?
there's different things you can do in that position. You can duck really low, keep a low base, try to face back into her, try to maybe grab the hand so you don't get shot. You know, you don't get those sneaky uppercuts that can come from the back. She can roll for a leg lock, very risky. She can tie up a Kimura as well.
Oh, all right.
So
Okay.
there's different things depending on the style of the fighter. It just depends on what they do. Now this is a jiu-jitsu person, so she could do any of those things because she can always scramble back on top. But, I mean, this is an interesting fight. I didn't think it would go to. You see the highlight reel, right? So many times that you just see punches and combinations. But
Oh yeah, yeah. Valentina grapples. Like a lot of people just look at her as a striker, but she's a lot more than that. If she sees it,
Beautiful.
if she sees a takedown, she goes for it right away. But see, now I feel like she's boom back to the ground. She's just better grappling.
her
But-
fight IQ is just so high, man.
Yeah.
She just knows where to go, how to move.
Yeah.
This is amazing right here. Good cross face. Oh, good control. So when you go for these type of chokes, just be careful with the muscle fatigue, right?
Okay.
Because sometimes they might burn out. It's the first round. Hey, we have 4 more after this. So if not, what happens in the first fight happens. The
Right.
adrenaline dump. you
Right,
know?
right,
You
right,
get
right.
excited. The roaring of the crowd just gets you,
Okay.
your heart rate up. But she's a smart fighter and she's pacing really well. It's hard, it's hard to see this sometimes, but of course it's why she's champion.
Let's see. Yo, Daniel Nakanishi, bro, you are on fire. Thank you for the $10. He says, I guess that bad as blue must be a term that is only used for submission-only competitions on the West Coast. I am not confident enough in my stamina and my submissions to compete in one. So what would you tell Daniel? Daniel is not comfortable or confident in his stamina to compete in one. That's the biggest fear, right?
Yeah. Daniel, I would say train so much that confidence doesn't become an issue and you're so confident to do it. The reason you're not confident is because you're probably not putting in the time, and that's okay. You probably have other priorities, but if you want to really do a tournament at that level, you got to be training, you got to be rolling 7 to like 12 hours a week.
Woo!
Yeah. And then what happens is your cardio becomes one less stress you have to worry about in the fight. And then the other stress is pretty manageable, right? Your opponent, yourself, your diet, whatever that is. But then your cardio becomes the least of your worries, and then you just feel like you're on top of the world. So that's what I would say to Daniel.
God, rolling 7 to 12 hours a week.
Yeah.
I am so far away from that. It's not even a joke.
It's just some people. And the other thing too is you might get a blue belt who has been a blue belt for a month and started jiu-jitsu 2 years ago, or you might get a blue belt who just turned 17, 18 and has been training since he was 5. So there's
Milo.
that. So that's the next question too. And I think they need to do something about that because a kid who's been training since he was 5 is not this. I mean, he's basically a black belt, but they can't give kids black belts, which I agree with because you just can't be a black belt in jiu-jitsu as a kid. So they do need to do something where, just make these blue belt kids who've been training for 10 years face each other. Don't let them fight an adult who has 2 years in it. It's not fair to the adult. I'm being 100% serious. People might be like, oh, come on, they're adults. It's like, no, those adults.
Yeah.
2 years of training is not the same as 10 years.
Yeah.
I've trained with these kids. It's another breed.
Milo.
Milo. Oh my gosh. And he hasn't even been training 10 years. He's been training, is it 4 or 5? Yeah.
He's a problem.
Crazy, right?
He's a problem.
So the first round is pretty obvious, right? Who won that one?
Valentina Shevchenko dominated that round. Beautiful.
On the ground, on top. Her fight IQ is just.
I mean, she said that's what she's going to do. She said, regardless of where the fight goes.
Nice setup. Yeah.
And the one thing, I mean, this is like child's play right here. The one thing I love that she's doing.
Pay attention real quick too. Look at her shoulder pressure here.
Okay.
her shoulder pressure and how she puts all that shoulder pressure on her face. She's using it as a strike, and then she's leaning on her left side of the hip. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. I just thought it was really great to mention.
Okay. And of course, that's preventing Andrade from hip escaping and turning into her.
That's right. She can't do anything there. She's got an underhook. She's got a crossface. All the weight's on that hip. Okay, so now she's focusing on that underhook now. And so now Andrade has the underhook. And so it's just a bad position to be on the bottom.
You see, it's half guard again. It's always half guard in MMA.
That's right. Because half guard allows you to pin the hips. When you pin the hips, you can strike, you can go for submissions. You know, in jiu-jitsu, we teach get past the hips, right? But in MMA, you want to honestly stay in half guard. It's where you do the most damage. It's when you can advance to mount or the back. Half guard is a great position, and I always tell my students, focus on your half guard, and they roll their eyes because they hate it, right?
I love half guard.
Good.
I love half guard.
Such a good position.
Yeah.
Look at this scramble.
For sweeping too, like.
You teach a good wrestler half guard, forget about it. Now look at this, how they come up.
The one thing I love that Valentina is doing a really good job of is when she throws and she feels like she's out of position, boom, she clinches right away. She crashes in and clinches and forces Andrade to stifle her own offense. So it's either I hit you or we're wrestling. And I really, really love when fighters do that.
And it's her technique is nullifying that strength that Andrade's so famous for having, right? Like she tried to lift her up and she just blocked the hips. Beautiful clinch work. The way she's moving her against the cage. Check this out right here.
Yeah, you can tell that Jessica is trying to be super strong, but
it's just not.
It's not gonna work with the right technique. Yeah,
and like we've talked about this before, strength matters, right? When technique is up to par with the other person's technique. Yes. But when this person is so more far advanced in terms of technique, position. Oh, look at this.
It's got him in crucifix. Now she's stuck.
There's a lot of time left. I mean, this is going to be tough for her to get out of. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And she's got the Americana right there if she wants it, right? It's right.
She can, but you know what she's doing is she's cooking
busting her up. Yeah, this is it.
That's it.
He's going to stop this fight. My goodness.
Yeah. Smash. Wow.
Impressive. Valentina Shevchenko is a beast.
You know, she does things so well with her timing, her technical and her tactical, right? How she approaches the techniques, but how she approaches them with timing and strategy. It's like she can forecast the movement very well. She moves off her feet. She sets up the clinch. This woman is...
She's incredible.
For sure. Oh, she's incredible. Awesome to watch. She's gonna be a champion for a while.
Man, that is just
beautiful under overhook control, good hip movement. I mean, I would even argue those rounds were 10-8 rounds. Easily dominated.
Those were bad. Yeah, I'm sure strength for strength. If they had to do some kind of strength testing workout, pretty sure Jessica is stronger. But like in here, when, like you said, when you don't have the technique, it just doesn't matter. And that's something that I've found out firsthand.
That's right. So
leverage.
You have the leverage. You also have contraction of the muscle, right? So when you teach your body to use your muscle to, let's say, bench press or do a back squat, that's one linear movement. Now to incorporate that same movement onto something what we call dynamic, right? Something, it's not static, it's not linear, it could be circular, it could be ballistic, it could be explosive. And then you transfer it to that. Those are two different types of strength. And it's often the times when you see someone who's not very strong in the weight room, they're decent, but they feel like they could just bear hug you to death, right? Usually it comes in the form of older generation, grandparents or something. Well, what's happened is over the years, they've gotten so good at that I guess with that muscle memory or that contraction of a muscle, when they squeeze, they know how to use 100% of that muscle contraction. Whereas when you're bench pressing, you're not using all of it. You're using it in a linear static motion. So
gotcha.
I've seen this, man. I've trained with some world-class athletes before, obviously in jiu-jitsu, and I'll go out lift them in the gym. But then when we're rolling, it's just a different movement. It's a different muscle. So it teaches you to allow your body to understand movement. That's why I say her fight IQ, from her movement to her base to her stand up to her, even when she avoided getting taken down, avoided the strikes, it's just awesome to watch. That level is just awesome to watch.
Yeah, I think she needs to fight Amanda Nunes again. I mean, Amanda has beat her twice now. Second one is a little bit debatable, but I think right now it's just two of them in the women's divisions, like especially like from flyweight to bantamweight. I think it's just two of them. Because I don't know who else could challenge Valentina, and I don't know who else could challenge Amanda Nunes. You know, like actually really give them a run for their money. I just want to watch them fight each other over and over again.
So I can tell you right off the bat, just by looking at body types, Amanda's a lot bigger, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you could tell. Because if she was the same size as Amanda, those would have been different fights.
Yes.
So, it just goes back to the other conversation you and I have had before. Man, size matters, right? So if you're bigger, stronger, I mean, there's just no question about that.
And you're good too, because Amanda is also good at all of this too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's tough. If they're both fulfilled in their careers, it's kind of there's nothing really to gain for both of them, but maybe later it'll be another big pay-per-view fight and they can make more money. To me, that should be, that's a conversation we dive into, is like the money they should get. The idea that Jake Paul made in one night with these fighters aren't making at all. That does hurt me, because these fighters are professionals, and her fight IQ, what you just saw, like that is a master class. We just saw a master class, right, at MMA, and she's amazing. She deserves to make millions of dollars in those fights. Yeah. And I wish and I hope someday that we can get to that point where they're, and we have with, right, the Conor McGregors and the Habibs and stuff, but that definitely not to where I feel they deserve. Yeah. Especially when we have other sports making so much more money. It's just, MMA is the toughest sport.
Yeah, it
should be treated as such.
Hopefully soon. Let's see here. Did Chris Weidman break his leg? Yeah, Chris Weidman broke his leg. I thought we were already over this.
Yeah.
I already forgot about this, and you guys bring this up again.
I know.
Damn, man.
We're on such a high, right? Talking about this fight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure his leg's done.
Let's see, Daniel, I hope that you learn the lockdown half guard technique, as it can be quite useful if you are good at the half guard position. Isn't it the lockdown something that Eddie Bravo does a lot?
Eddie Bravo is really big on the lockdown. I think he said he got it from wrestling in high school. Lockdown is great. I teach lockdown. I go over lockdown escapes. I like lockdown. I think it's a good way. I think it was a great example. Do you remember the fight between Anderson Silva and Daniel Cormier?
I remember the fight.
He was a last minute replacement. He came in. He made like $1 million, right? He lost. Anderson Silva lost, but he didn't get punched because he knew if he can just get taken down and survive the fight, he'd go out with a payday. So what he did is, as he get taken down by DC, who's this high caliber wrestler, he pulled the lockdown, and he would just the lockdown. DC could not finish him. Okay. So I believe lockdown is great for MMA self defense. Okay. And even sport jiu-jitsu, competition jiu-jitsu. So.
Yeah, Daniel, if you've not, I don't know if you've already followed Tony's YouTube channel, but it's literally, the name is right now. It's just Tony Casares, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. You can find him easily on YouTube. I wonder if there's a way I could just put in a link. Oh, look at Jake Paul. And look who's in the house, Nick Diaz. It is nice to see Nick Diaz, man. Looks in shape, looks healthy, looks ready to go.
Well, that guy does triathlons for fun, right?
Yes. Which is just the biggest, like,
crazy.
What in the world? I play video games for fun. He does just crazy, dude.
Triathlon.
Yo, Zayaf, what's up, brother? It is good to see you here, my man. Okay, so next up is going to be another really, really good one. It is Rose Namajunas versus Weili Zhang. Have you seen Weili fight recently?
Oh my gosh. I saw I saw those highlights, man. That's another one. That's another one. It's incredible. Of course they were gonna stack this main card with all these great fighters. It's the
Weili,
first event coming back.
yeah,
Jeez.
she's a problem. I'm actually a little bit worried for Rose, but then again, Rose is also she's so clean on the feet. Like her striking is so beautiful on the feet. I think she'll be all right. It's just she's dealing with such a powerhouse. Like this girl right here, Weili.
She's amazing.
Yeah,
She's amazing.
yeah,
And then again, look at her posture, look at her technique, her boxing, her striking. Look at the way she times her shots. You can always check how they look, not when they're hitting pads. It's like GSP was telling Joe Rogan the other day on his podcast. It's like everybody looks like a champion when they're hitting mitts, right?
Yep.
but when you look at their technique during fights, like actual live fights, the way they move, the finesse, you could tell clean technique
Yeah.
off of someone who just picked up striking.
Yes,
And
sir.
remember, you have to remember when we roll in jiu-jitsu, right? These are people who have been doing it for years. Well, can you imagine the strikers have been doing it for years? Like their nervous system is like in check
Yeah.
to take strikes and to deliver strikes.
Yeah.
And that's something that takes years
Yeah.
of skill development. So
yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah.
great to watch her highlights, man. I was so impressed watching her. I'm excited for this fight.
It's gonna be a good one. It's a very good co-main event, getting us ready for that main event.
That's going to be a good one too. Lot, man.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
I'm gonna be nervous. I mean, it's like
Oh.
I should be confident that Usman is gonna get it done, but for some reason, I'm just nervous.
Well, I think Masvidal makes people nervous because he talks a lot, right? He comes in there, and it's like he's so confident that you think like, man, maybe there's something he knows that we don't know, right? Like maybe he came up with this super secret uppercut that's gonna come and surprise people.
Yeah.
But I just it's gonna be a very, very tough night for him, you know.
Okay, I hope so.
Well, when you see
That's what I
Usman's history, like every round he gets better.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
You
Oh, yeah.
never
Oh, yeah.
you never see him come off of that. And Masvidal is a hit or miss, right?
True.
I mean, of course he's done great things in the past, but there's also fights that he
Yeah.
should have won, really. And so consistency is I think is a big indicator of success.
Mm-hmm.
How consistent are they in the octagon or the ring? I'm a big fan for Rose too. She came. I remember when before she was champion, she came up and coming. No one really gave her a chance 'cause she was real quiet. Do you remember that? Kind of just shy. And then she ended up taking the title, defending the title. I do remember that.
And then she got slammed on her head by the girl that we just saw got beat
Yes.
up in crucifix.
Yes. Which I mean, you get slammed like that. That's hard to.
It's amazing how like because rewatching that fight, just one small detail led to her getting slammed. Meanwhile, she didn't get slammed on her head the other two times that sequence happened because it was like a high crotch that Jessica was trying to go for, and the first two times that she did it, she had her head on the inside, and so Rose would go for the Kimura, and the Kimura will shut down the high crotch.
Yeah.
But then Jessica switched to head on the outside, and then went for the high crotch, and the Kimura didn't do anything. She got slammed on her head, which just that small detail.
A small detail. Well, and anytime you go, we call that the Kimura trap, right? So you trap a person and you want their head on the inside because of the leverage. They can't lift you when you have all that weight. With a Kimura is a very, very leverage based move, right? It's basically a shoulder lock. And it got the name from the famous Japanese Kimura who submitted Hilo Gracie with it. And that video's on YouTube. If you look that up, they got the old fight footage of that. But if that head is on the outside, you no longer have that weight. And so you're just trapping the shoulder. Whereas if the head's on the inside, you're trapping the shoulder, the back, the head, right? You have heavy leverage. As soon as they get the head on the outside, you're vulnerable to that high crotch. You're vulnerable to getting dumped on your head. So that's just a technicality that she probably didn't see and
Yeah.
probably wouldn't happen again.
No.
You know? that's the fight game. That's usually how
Just
it goes.
one small. That's the fascinating thing about grappling to me. It's just tiny, tiny, tiny details, man.
That's right. It's just the variables, right? There's so many variables: right, left, center, forward, backward. Like you can go here, you can go there. It's just it's just tough, and the variables in MMA, because now you've thrown jiu-jitsu, striking, slamming, takedowns. It's amazing to watch the evolution though of all this. This is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, it's just, like when I rolled with Luis, who by the way submitted me maybe 12 or like 15 times.
Oh, did he really?
With an arm bar every time.
Oh,
I think he did it on purpose too. I think he did it on purpose. It was like, I'm gonna get you with the same submission over and over and over again until you learn how to leave your arm in. And he would like give me a small pointer. Okay, just do this, and I do it, and he gets me again. Okay, now do this. Now do, and of course I've forgotten everything he said. But just what an experience. That's my first time rolling with a black belt.
Oh, Luis is awesome.
He was just, oh my God. It was, what an experience, man. I hope he comes back.
Yes, he's supposed to be there every Mondays now. Mondays. So he usually trains in the morning, but he tries to visit us at least once a week at night. Luis is awesome. He's our jiu-jitsu nerd. He'll study jiu-jitsu, and, it'd be good to have him one day. Have a good conversation.
Talk,
yeah. We talk a lot about fights and jiu-jitsu matches, and he'll send me videos and he'll say, Tony, check out this fighter. This guy's up and coming. Have you seen him? Sometimes I've heard of him. Sometimes I haven't. Definitely some really cool stuff with Luis.
Yeah. Let me see. Did I miss anything? I mean, pretty sure I missed something. Please, Jorge Marshall, where do you get your fighter art? I make them.
Amazing art, man. You make
Thank
amazing
you,
art.
Appreciate it.
Amazing art.
Yeah,
just a plug for you, man. You guys that are out there listening, definitely purchase some of his art.
Let's go. Everything you see in the back, I did, minus that one right there. That is the Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. That was sent to me by the UFC. I mean ESPN. But everything else, that one right there, the Usman, all of it, I did. So once I'm done with the Usman, I'll let you guys know. Some of you have been asking me about it. Once I'm done, I'll let you guys know, and you can get prints. Something similar kept happening to me with one of the high-level kids when I was a white belt, but it was the omoplata. So Daniel actually does jiu-jitsu. I think
Awesome.
I think it'll be nice talking to Daniel for a little bit. He says he kept getting caught in the omoplata. Haven't been caught in that yet. Good. For me, the two big things is the armbar and the triangle. That's it. Armbar and the triangle. Over and over and over again. It's just annoying.
My first competition loss was to an armbar. So yeah, armbars
They're everywhere. They're
everywhere. For sure.
Even in places where you don't think there's an armbar, it's like, oh, my arm is getting hyperextended now.
You're getting better though. I've seen major improvement. That's just the way it is. After those first few months, you just continue to thrive. The earliest years of your jiu-jitsu are the most progressive, to be honest.
Okay.
You're just gonna, It's like I said, imagine if, Marshall, who walked in, fought Marshall now.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
You would destroy that old version of yourself.
Oh yeah.
And guess what? 4 months from now, same thing. It just keeps there's a big growth mindset that you have that's going to help. So it's going to be awesome.
That makes me very excited. Thank you.
Yeah. It'd be great to see you compete soon too. That would be awesome.
Very
Yeah, be good.
I'm a little bit scared. I mean, I'm a little bit. Speaking of which, it's tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow tomorrow we have a good bunch of group of students out there going to compete. Kids, adult division, white belt, blue belt.
Okay.
I'm excited. Excited.
We
should do well.
I'll be there. Do I have to be there like super early?
No. I think the kids are in the morning, so I'll be there. We have 2-3 children fighting, and then the adults is at 12:30.
Beautiful.
So,
Perfect.
and then the colored belts are like at 4. So you have
Okay.
time.
Okay.
You have time.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna drop off my kid at my in-laws, drop off my kid and my wife, and then drive up. I'll be there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. I'll be there all day, of course, coaching. It's always a long day, but it's always worth it to be there with my students, just coaching them up.
Be nice to see the environment too. Man, look at her with those championship attire on, the gold stripes. Look at her.
Yeah.
Look at how she's how in
Confident,
shape
right?
she is, dude.
She walks in and she like knows she's the champion.
Yeah.
You can always go, man. It goes to, like I told you, the mental, the physical, the emotional, spiritual, if you will. There's a connection between the mind and body, right? And so when you're able to come in like that, that is what makes a champion. That and lots of hours training that gives you that confidence, right? Like that cardio that they're gonna be good. Almost identical. Look at their stats. Jeez.
Rose an inch taller, a little bit longer reach. I mean, this is, but of course younger too. She's 28.
Yeah.
I'm 28.
Yeah. Good age. It's good age.
Old man. I feel so old, dude. Like,
Wait, how do you think I feel, man?
but it's different. You've been in this for a long time. You're in way better shape than me, anyways. It's like, if we were to compare, I'm probably like 50 years old body wise, and you're like maybe 30.
I don't know about that. My body's pretty beat up. You know, your style of jiu-jitsu changes over the years because of age.
Yeah.
I used to do crazy stuff 10 years ago, go upside down, invert, and now I can do it. I just choose not to because I'm going to pay for it the next few days.
Right.
My lower back, my neck. And I remember getting an injury on my lower back a few years ago that really scared me. It was nothing bad, thank God, right? But for a moment, I thought it was bad. And I said, you know what? I don't need to be inverting like that. Plus, to me, my style of jiu-jitsu has changed because it goes back to this. If I were to ever do MMA or self-defense, that inversion stuff isn't very, very smart. And people always say, well, keep it playful. And there's a truth to that. But you definitely don't want to keep it playful when you're going against these fighters. You know, you want to be on top. You want to have a good game on bottom, but you don't want to stay inverted or go upside down like that. So those of you that are listening, what I mean by inversion is like when you play jiu-jitsu and your feet are behind your head and you're trying to like show how flexible you are. Like sometimes it's great for competitions, it's jiu-jitsu competitions, but for MMA, it's not ideal unless you're spinning for like a reverse heel hook or an ashigarami leg lock, then that's different. But even then there's better ways to get into them without bending your neck that way. so
no berimbolos in a street fight, huh?
No berimbolos in a street fight. Maybe once you like choke the guy out, you can just do it.
You can just hit a
once he's out, just do a berimbolo to freak bystanders are watching.
It's like, whoa, what was that?
Yeah, exactly. Here we go, man. Here we go. Good fight. I think it's gonna be very tough for Rose to be the champ. You got to beat the champ. So, but let's see. She has great stand up. So.
All right, folks. Let's see. I'm gonna count down just to make sure we are. Let's see. This is 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50. Let's go. Right
Good
away.
distance control, yeah.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
trying to feel each other out.
Wei Li got that left leg taped up. Looks like she's gonna be kicking a lot with that left leg. She's already tapping Rose with the lead leg. Yeah.
See, but those kicks aren't as bad because they're
Exactly.
coming inside out, right?
Yeah,
So it's the
yeah.
inside of the leg. You're not gonna get it checked with a shin bone or a knee.
Yeah, and it's just a flick. She's just tapping it. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's almost, it seems like she's trying to get a reaction, right? Like that's what she's using it to set up.
It actually looks to me like they've really game planned against Rose's jab. Because if you notice, every time Rose jabs, she fires off that inside leg kick. and that's really getting Rose out of position. See that?
Yeah, I do.
When Rose jabs, the inside leg kick comes. So it's a very good way to counter the jab in MMA and in striking in general. Oh my God!
She did her studying of her own.
Rose Namajunas. Rose Namajunas.
Just, yeah.
Rose, oh my God. That is a good stoppage.
That was clean. That was smart. Yeah. That was Rose studied her very well. She was waiting for that. She didn't throw it once. Did you see that? She waited.
Boom. She just snapped it. That was beautiful Taekwondo style lead.
Yep.
Roundhouse to the head. Just
timed it perfectly. Timed it perfectly.
Watch this. Just legs are gonna come up. Whip.
Yep.
So beautiful. Yeah, Weili was done. Come on, girl. Head down. You're not defending yourself. You were out. You were out.
Yeah.
And
it could have gotten real dangerous quick if they didn't stop it, right?
Weili thought it was going to the leg. Look at her. Watch Weili's leg. She's like, ooh, I'm gonna slide away, but nope, to the head. Man.
Yep. She was even like opening up herself because she was trying to back up, and as she took that distance. I love these reactions, right?
The women are stealing the show. I mean,
they are, man. They are.
It's incredible how
you know what, they just go for it though. They don't hold back. They're there to fight, and sometimes the guys are just there stalling and just. Man. Good for Rose. She's been through a lot.
Yes,
she's been through a lot. She's back.
Incredible. That is a champion, ladies and gentlemen. That is a champion.
Yep. She's back.
I mean, these fights are going so quick.
Jeez. And you know what? These are incredible athletes. These are these are women that are they're pound for pound the best fighters in the world.
Yeah.
And, hats off to both of them. So sometimes it's just, that day you didn't win. That's it. Good for Rose. Good setup. So I'm saying she had timed it. She's back. She knows what it's like to be on top, then to go back to the bottom. So I bet you this is pretty emotional for her. I could understand that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I could understand that. Good for her.
Man, these I mean, everybody, Muay Thai has its place, but man, that fast, snappy Taekwondo, karate style kick where it just hits you in a flash. I mean, she caught it with the foot. It wasn't even the shin. It was just boom, the foot.
Yep. That snap kick, man.
Snapped her, and that's it.
Yep. It's funny when you go back to the very first UFC, right? Almost 30 years ago. It's crazy. People thought that martial artists were going to be doing knockouts like this, and it was so far from this back then. But look at how much we've evolved in terms of fighting, the fight IQ, the fight technique, the training. Think about all those times she's practiced that kick.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? The timing, the sparring, and her visualizing this. This happened because she visualized it, and she knew it was going to happen someday. And today was that day.
She must have thrown this 10,000 times. I mean, the proficiency, just clean, just delivered perfectly. Boom, 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 whoop, whoo. So gorgeous.
Jeez, Thug Rose is back.
Yes, she is.
She's back. What a way to keep going on the night, right? This is awesome.
It's just to put away a champion like Weili like this. I mean, Weili was done. Yeah, her eye was rolled into the back of her head. I mean, that
was a smart stoppage. Sometimes fighters, your adrenaline's so high, you're like, I'm good. I could have kept going, but no, you're out, and they want to protect you, and which is smart. And you know what? They're probably gonna hype up a rematch. You know that. So.
Yeah.
It'll be good. It'll be good to see a rematch. If now this tells me she really didn't respect Rose's distance that way. She kind of
Probably
opened
not.
up. She's like, I'm fine. Everything's be okay. But good for Rose. Be interesting to see how they would do in a rematch. But let her enjoy it. Let her
Yes, sir.
soak this up.
Ugh, they gave her that Monster Energy sponsorship that she had to.
That she has to drink, right?
Holding the Monster Energy can.
Pretty sure there's water in there, or she's not drinking it.
No.
I don't know if I get no, I wouldn't get in trouble for saying that, but it's just those.
Say what?
Those energy drinks are bad for you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
They're terrible, man. I can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I don't drink those. I mean, I used to. I mean, I told you what happened to me, so it's like I'm no one to really talk, but I'm pretty sure they're terrible for you.
Hey, no one's perfect. I've had bad experiences with drinking anything in general, but I know that every time the few times I've drank energy drinks in college to like study or whatever, I would get terrible anxiety. So I don't do those things because it's just not good for you.
Yeah.
And she was so upset.
Yeah, if she doesn't show her the replay. Watch your eye rolling in the back of your head, sweetheart. You're done. You were done.
Yeah. No, it was a smart stoppage. It's tough, man. It's tough to lose.
Yeah, like that.
To lose like that, yeah. It's tough to lose like that, especially when you're used to being so dominant. This doesn't take away that she's an amazing champion, right? She's an amazing fighter. She's been for so many fights. So her time will come again.
Yeah.
And Rose, good for Rose.
Man, this is gonna be a tough plane ride back home, man. Like,
Yep.
So emotional.
Dude, talk about so many highs, so many lows tonight, right?
Yeah.
We talked about the unfortunate bad news with some of the fighters, and then you go through some of the good stuff like this, and it's just,
that's the thing with MMA, man. Like, tragedy and also just exhilaration. On at the same exact time. Tragedy for Wei Li, great news for Rose, just instantly, right away. One person gets terrible news, the other one gets great news instantly.
It's like the whole Shakespearean plot. Did you ever know that? I studied literature in college, and Shakespeare always he did the opposite, actually. He always gave the audience a big laugh before he was going to kill someone. So that way it made it more dramatic, right? So if he just killed someone, it wasn't as dramatic, but he would heighten your kind of your emotions, and you get involved emotion with the characters, and you get really high and have a funny scene. And then the next scene, someone would just die, right? And so I feel like, some of that's happening here, but kind of in the opposite effect. We had some highs, some lows, and then some highs again. So always makes it feel a little bit more emotional.
The UFC actually has a small series on YouTube that they do after the fights. I think it's called The Thrill of Victory and the Agony of Defeat, something like that, where they show the fighter that won, and they show the fighter's corner rejoicing, celebrating, and then they show the fighter that lost as the corner is like sad, and and it's just the dynamics of it just immediately in here, someone's heart gets broken, someone's dream comes true instantly. It's just it's crazy.
It's crazy to be on either side of those. And you know what? That's part of life. You're always on either side of those. That's life. So, who are these guys? Who's this?
Machine Gun Kelly.
He's a singer? Something?
He was a rapper. But now I don't think he's a rapper anymore. He had a diss track versus Eminem, and then now he's into rock and roll or something like that. I don't know. He's an artist. He's a celebrity.
Okay, cool.
There you are, Nigerian Nightmare.
Watch out.
There you are.
Watch out.
Street Jesus, as they call him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I call him Street Jesus. All right, let's see. Grappler, what is up, bro? What is up? Where am I? I'm here. What you mean, where am I? I'm here. All right. You want to take a quick break? Get a drink of water or something?
Sounds good.
Yep.
Let's do that.
Yep.
All right.
I will be right back, folks. Okay, folks. Let's see. Someone asking, how did Wei Li lose? She got knocked out. Well, she got TKO'd. She got hit with a head kick, and then that was it. That's how she lost. Did you think that was going to happen? Marshall, your ESPN. What about my ESPN? Trying to tell me that my ESPN is showing us something? Trying to troll me? I'm watching my own stream, homie. Cannot troll me. Marshall, your ESPN is delayed. Maybe.
Maybe there's like a 7-second delay, but that's not bad.
Yeah.
It'd be worse if it was like a minute.
Yeah. 7 seconds is okay.
Then I would have to hide my my expression.
I mean,
for a minute.
You actually hit it really well in the last one.
Oh, yeah.
I knew something happened, but I was like, what?
Oh man, I'm not good at hiding stuff, you know? I told myself like, just don't react, and I just stared at the screen, just says, hurry. It just happened. Oh man, that's all right.
So unexpected. This I mean,
you know, I told myself this. I kind of, you know, I'm sure you had your predictions as I had mine, and I kind of probably thinking the same thing you're thinking or similar. It's really hard to beat a champion, right? Especially in the UFC. But then I always thought, but then there's always that one crazy thing that happens that's unexpected that might happen. But then I was like, no, I just don't see it. I don't see it. And of course,
it happened.
You know, it happens. So good for her.
See, now I'm scared, bro.
No, well, you know, the chances. Well, yeah, you're right, because when has it happened in the past? When the undercard is kind of like a precursor for the main card, right?
Yeah.
And there's just like upset after upset, and it's like a night full of upsets. I get what you're saying. However, statistically speaking, right? I don't know if I don't know the data, right? But I'd love to see if when usually a title is overturned that the following is. I don't know. I just the thing that I've told you about before is Masvidal's not as consistent, and I think that's what separates the champions from everyone else, right? The consistency to win, because they're doing the consistency to do the right thing.
Right. And Usman, he's consistent. He's very consistent. Yeah.
He's just another breed, man. Like the way he fights, the way he is in control in that octagon, like that. There's like he said it in the interview, and I understand 100% what he's saying. He's like, there's levels to this. There's levels to this, and he's looking at the camera saying it because he's saying it with so much conviction.
Yeah.
And I think Masvidal is just so good at selling fights, right? That it's kind of hard to believe that there's true conviction in what he's saying. And when Usman says it, you feel it. Remember his last fight when he talked to the camera and he says, "People thought I wasn't real. I'm here to stay."
Yeah.
Like, there's just so much passion in the way he says it. Almost fires me up just to be a fan, because I'm like, dude, sign me up. This guy's the real deal.
Yes, he is.
So
okay, let's go.
Let's go.
And if Masvidal throws a kick and Usman goes crashing, I already told him they're gonna have to call the Wambulance for me.
Man, you know what's interesting? Little fun fact here. Usman beat Gilbert Burns, right? Last time.
Yeah.
Gilbert Burns has a super jiu-jitsu match next weekend against Rafael Lovato, who was undefeated in Bellator, but then he had to retire because he had like something was up with, I don't know if they did a CAT scan or something, so he just does jiu-jitsu matches now. So that's a super jiu-jitsu fight, what they call like a super match. And even smaller world, Lucas Lepre, my coach, my professor, he just did a seminar at Lovato's school this week. And so make a small world smaller, right? Lucas was over at Lovato's fighting or going against Gilbert Burns, who just went against Usman, who's fighting right now. Like jiu-jitsu and MMA, it's a lot smaller than you think. You meet a lot of these guys at these events.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was gonna say, it's so weird hearing you say "my professor."
Yeah,
this is so funny. Like everybody has a coach.
Yeah,
you know, it's like when I look at you, sometimes it's like I forget that at some point you were also a wee student learning jiu-jitsu.
Oh man, I'm still a student learning jiu-jitsu. We're all students learning something, man. And if we choose wisely, we learn a lot. And so I still got a long way to go like everyone else. It's just, and you know, my professor just so happens to be incredibly good, right?
Yes.
So
yes. Oh yes.
Pound for
pound, one of the best.
Oh, I used to get so excited training with him. Not that I don't anymore, but now it's just, I get more excited learning from him. And back in the day, I would get, I want to roll with him. I was like, why? Why do I want to roll with him? Well, it does, like, it's just, there's just, like Usman said, there's levels to a lot of things, and there's levels to this stuff. So, but it's just a small world, man. When you get into martial arts, you meet a lot of these fighters. And I remember being at the World Championships and just, you know, walking into BJ Penn, right? He's just sitting right in front of me. And I'm like, this is back in the day. And I posted a picture with him on my Facebook profile, because it was just like, oh, hey, BJ Penn, dude, so great to see you, man. And he's like such a cool dude. He's like, hey, yeah, man, you compete? I said, yeah, I did. I won, I lost. He's like, hey, it's all right, man. You're here. There's experience. Now, we have to remember, this is when he was the champion.
Right.
So to be sitting next to him, another time Ronda Rousey was there. Another time Dos Anjos was there. And he looks not incredibly, but he looks kind of small on film. But when you see him in person, his shoulders, it seems like, geez, it's like, this guy fights lightweight. What's going on, right? So you run into a lot of these fighters. So it's a great experience to be that. And, you know, 10 out of 10 times, not even like 100% of the times, these guys are so humble and so cool. They just talk to you, and, you know, they don't care if you go up to them and take a picture and stuff. And I respect these guys so much that I don't do the whole picture thing anymore. I just go up to him and be like, hey, man, it's great to see you out here. You had a great fight, blah, 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 right? That I've lost a lot of respect for celebrities.
Yeah.
I've run into celebrities at the airport, and I just, to me, they can't.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, they can't beat me up, right? So their power is like vanished, right?
Right.
And I've seen some celebrities at LAX and different airports in California when I go to train. But when I see a fighter, I'm like, all right, this
different.
guy, it's different. I respect them so much.
Yeah.
Way more than a celebrity.
Yeah. And it's so interesting that MMA and jiu-jitsu and all this, it's the only sport where you can actually realistically train right next to world champions, right?
Yeah.
Like, how often does a regular Joe get to train with LeBron James?
That's right.
Or get to train with Lionel Messi? You know what I mean?
That's
but
right.
in MMA, you go into class and, oh, there's Kamaru Usman. Oh, there he is. You can wrestle with him. You can roll with him. You can. It's amazing.
And the irony is even greater, right? Like, these MMA fighters are like the baddest guys and girls, right? Women on the planet. They're literally, this is the toughest sport. Like, hands down. There's no debate, right? Nobody's arguing that. And they're so down to earth with you. They'll just talk to you forever. If you really talk to these guys, they love it. They love just meeting people, fighters. The martial arts community is very cool. But then you get other sports celebrity, and they don't like cameras, or they don't want to talk to you, and it's like, people support celebrities because they like their films or whatever. But over the years, I've just really learned to appreciate the martial artists way more. So I will not. You can't pay me, and you'll get to know when we go to tournaments and stuff. Because I'm gonna take you to a big tournament one day, like a big tournament, like the World Mundials, the Pan Ams.
Let's go.
You're gonna go, and I will not ever. You can't pay me to go up to a celebrity non-martial artist. In fact, people are like, oh, whatever. You get no, man. Like, I see them at an airport, at a restaurant, and I'm just like,
whatever.
Yeah. Why? Because you can't beat me up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just like, whatever. But these guys,
different.
These guys are just, they deserve all our respect.
Yes, sir.
For a good reason.
Yes, sir.
So you nervous?
Yeah. Stu, thank you for the $4. You say, let's go Thug Rose. Yes, sir. Thug Rose got it done. Henry, we need more mods. Why? What's going on? Is the chat losing its mind? I'll add more mods. I'll add more mods next time I stream, folks. I can't do it right now. But, I gotta, I'll figure it out. I'm gonna do a sweep and figure out who can actually mod. There we go. They are in the cage. And ladies and gentlemen, all I need for tonight to end properly is for Usman to win. That's it. I don't care if it's a split decision. I don't care if it's a dominant win. Just the belt cannot change hands right now, bro. Please no. Please no. I hope I didn't just 36. Ooh, Masvidal's 36 years old? Whoa.
That's right.
I did not know that. Oh wow, okay.
Man, these guys age well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I hope I didn't drag you away from Catherine.
Oh no.
Because I know you guys
good.
usually watch it together.
Yeah. No, she's resting for the tournament tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, she's competing.
She's competing, yeah. So she's, got her diet fixed, weighed in, did everything.
Okay.
So yeah,
okay.
No, we're good.
Okay. All right.
Something to think about with the fight game. A lot of these champions, if you notice, they're in their 30s because it takes that much time to perfect this art, man. Like,
unless you're John Jones and
you're John Jones and you're just a genetic freak, right?
At 21, he became champion.
Didn't his brothers both playing like the same Super Bowl at one time? Yeah. And John Jones was champion watching them. Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Like, you call them on. Like, what are you doing? Well, I'm watching my son play my other son at the Super Bowl, and my other son, the UFC champion, is here with me.
Crazy.
Like they're all taking pictures with,
crazy
Super Bowl rings and championship belts.
Just a house of athletes.
Yeah, amazing. And even with that, like, John Jones was an incredible Greco-Roman wrestler. Like, he had a good career before. I know DC would make fun of him sometimes because he wasn't like this Olympian or anything like that, but he definitely won the JUCO championships, I think. And JUCO is like the junior college level, which is still very high. People forget. You might be fighting a Jordan Burroughs who just, started a family in college and couldn't go out to the Division I or whatever, So John Jones is a great wrestler, and then obviously a great fighter.
Yes, sir.
But for the most part, like if you look at these fighters, a lot of them, they really do peak in their 30s. Same thing when you study sports, you see the same thing in like professional Olympic lifting, professional lifting, marathon running. There's some sports where the late 30-year-olds are dominating those arenas, and I don't know if late 30s for MMA, but I would definitely argue like early 30s.
Isn't that like a man's athletic prime, like the 30s?
I think what happens, right, because they always say like physically you peak in your early 20s or something, but I think maybe endocrine wise, like your hormonal levels, sure, but in your 30s your nervous system is just so in tune with like the way your body functions and the way it moves and operates, and looking at how you are as a fighter and how you are as a look at this guy, it was awesome. I love it. I look at they walk up to you like that. What are you gonna do, right? Your body is just in sync on biological level, the biochemistry level, and even the way your nervous system functions, and then your mentality too. As a man, you mature and you make better decisions in your 30s, right? Yeah. So I think all of those components, absolutely. I think you just peak physically, mentally in your 30s. And they really call it like that's the prime of your life, right?
Yeah.
That's like when things are just kind of falling into place better for you. And I could definitely see that.
All right, I'm gonna count these. I'm gonna count these boys down. Oh boy, come on. Here we go.
All
right, we got 457, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50. Let's go. So Usman right away jab into the body, which is smart. I'm so glad he's jab into the body. Very glad he's jab into the body, because Masvidal has very good head movement. So jab into the head. No, of course he runs the risk of getting slip countered or pull countered. There's a jab to the head. Yeah. There's a jab to the body. That's good. Work on that cardio a little bit.
Yeah, this is a pretty aggressive first round. I thought they'd feel each other out a little bit more, but they're going a little bit.
But I worry when Usman goes southpaw. I would love, personally, I would love to see him just stay conventional, stay orthodox, just because from southpaw, there's a cross.
Yeah, that one landed really
and see, Masvidal always does this. He always does this when, he gets hit. He's like, oh, I didn't get hit. He needs to take this fight seriously.
Yeah.
Take this fight seriously, because Usman he's not playing around in here. And the fact that he's actually standing with Masvidal right now is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I think he's trying to get Masvidal to get comfortable with the striking, and then he's most likely going to try to ground him.
Distance control is good. It's letting those hands go a little bit.
Dude, if he outstrikes Masvidal, bro, like, this whole entire place is going to... because right now it looks like he is. He's touching him up.
Definitely the timing and his movement.
Go back to conventional. Usman, your defense is not as good from southpaw.
Oh.
There it is. On your back, brother. And he's got his...
Now, this is the world he's familiar with, right? This is where the control, the scramble, the controlling of the hips.
Yeah. Oh, he's hitting him in the back of the head a little bit. I don't know why he's doing that. Masvidal with the foot on the hip.
Trying to create that distance. This will be interesting to see how this plays out. There's still some time left in the round.
Are you worried about the fact that Usman is leaving his one arm in like this?
I was thinking that, but you know, it's
Especially with that foot on the hip from...
yeah, but I think he's trying to just kind of control him, kind of grind him out a little bit. He doesn't posture because he's worried if he postures, he's gonna leave that opening for Masvidal to come up. So now they're scrambling up to their feet there, and you could see them.
Okay.
That hip body lock, man, that hip control. We study that a lot. It's a very, very, very powerful. Very powerful. It could just, you can't really do much when they have your hips like that. You have to really fight those hips and come back. And then you have to rebalance and then get out. People try to strike from there and they have no power. No power to strike when they have a hip body lock on you. Anytime someone connects their hands over your hips like that, that's just, you need to work on that before you can strike.
Okay.
Nice.
He's really trying to take out Masvidal here. I just don't know if he can do it this early.
Yeah, it'd be tough. I think if he just keeps playing his game, just paces a little bit more. He's a champion. You need to pace a little bit to kind of, that adrenaline dump's a real thing, especially in that first round.
Yeah.
Circle.
I need him to go back to the corner so Trevor Whitman can tell him to calm down.
Yeah, he is a little excited here. First round. However, I don't know how you scored it. I scored it the first round. Usman. Yeah. Handily defeated that. Oh, they love to talk. They love to talk. Look at that. Yeah, he won that one. Masvidal had no answer.
No,
not takedown.
Yeah.
No answer on the ground. No answer striking, really. No answer striking. So this is where they really need to calm down, both of them, because if they want to go to the 5 rounds, that pace is a little bit too much in the first round. So, but it's a first UFC with a crowd, right? People are going crazy.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. Title shot. Everyone's watching right now.
Yeah.
So
there we go. Trevor Whitman's talking some sense into him. Yeah, slow that down, bro. Take a breath. Jab him. Don't throw haymakers. Just take it easy.
Yeah. Smart.
Now, we've never seen Usman gas out in the octagon. We've never seen that happen. He has incredible conditioning, which is, look at Kobe Covington. That is a bad man. Kobe Covington is a bad man. I think he's the toughest matchup for Usman in this weight class right now. That is, unless Masvidal beats him. But definitely, I think Kobe is the guy. If there's anyone to beat Usman, it's Kobe.
He's a tough dude.
Yes.
He's a tough dude. Had a lot of wars. It's the last fight. His last 2 fights, I think, went the distance, right?
His last fight was against Tyron Woodley, I believe.
That's right.
And he stopped Woodley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
hurt his rib or something like that.
Which after this fight, we got to talk about Woodley, because I heard something and I don't know if it's true.
Oh. Okay.
Was he let go?
I think so. That's what I heard too.
Okay. So we could talk about it after this. So second round, different pace, right? They slowed it down a little bit, which is smart.
See, and now, like when Masvidal goes to kick, Usman is kind of jumping back as opposed to trying to, right there he slid back from. Oh, there you go.
So hard, man. So hard. I'm like listening to you talk, and I'm like, what a finish. You're gonna sleep well tonight.
Yes,
right?
sir.
You might not. You might be excited.
Oh, I mean, there's no sleeping tonight.
Oh my god.
I just stand up. We no feet carry last.
My god.
Kimo Shelley.
Man, he just put his stamp right there.
Boom, cross, flatten him out. And I was saying that earlier. Masvidal got to take this seriously. He's like, he gets hit, he drops his hands, and he's laughing. It's like, bro, Usman is not joking around here.
Yeah.
He's not joking around.
Consistency.
And see, now you can't say he stomped your feet. He put you out, knocked you out cold.
Yeah. If you go back and you look at the ground and pound, even the ground and pound didn't look like it was doing much to Masvidal. It was the stand up where Usman was just dictating the pace, the control. Jeez.
And look right there. They gain respect for each other. That's what happens when you share the octagon with a man. You have no choice. Look at this.
Wait, and sometimes you do have a choice, but you're just so humbled, right?
Yeah.
Like, what can you say?
Yeah.
Millions of people are watching, and this is good for Masvidal.
It is. This is good. This is good because I think he came in here with the notion that he's just such a better striker that he doesn't have to worry about anything on the feet. Yeah. And that's just not the case, man. That's not the case.
And when you're looking at the history of fighters he's outstriking, there are people that don't strike very well, right? So has he really fought high caliber strikers?
Oh, he fought Darren Till, knocked Darren Till dead.
That's right.
And Darren is is a good striker. So but again, like you said, I mean, he really came. Look at Joe Rogan and his reaction. Yeah, he really came in here thinking that this is going to be a wash on the feet, but it wasn't the case. Especially when you got Trevor Whitman in your corner. Trevor Whitman is also the coach of Rose Namajunas, Thug Rose. He's an incredible striking coach.
Well, he's gonna have a good night.
Yes, sir. Two of his fighters just dominated.
Yeah.
Finishes.
And I saw some of Darren Till's fight. I guess, you could argue his striking's good. I guess because he's more of a brawler, right?
Darren Till?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Especially, more recently, he's not. Especially after that KO.
After all that? Okay.
Yeah, more recently, he's very, very measured now. Yeah.
Okay. I guess maybe some of the earlier fights. I didn't like him. He reminded me of another Bisping.
Oh, well, yeah.
He just loved to talk, right?
Yeah.
But I do remember that fight, and Usman, the real deal. The real deal.
He's not a joke.
No, he said it. He said it in that interview, and he said it with so much conviction, right? You just believed him, and you're just like, oh, there are levels to this. This guy knows something, and he's not acting in front of the camera. He's not trying.
His dad rocking the.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
How proud could you be, right, as a dad?
Oh,
right?
my God. He raised a man.
That's right.
He raised a man.
Who's next?
Kobe. Kobe, probably. Yeah, I think Kobe Covington's next. Has to be. Because, I mean, let's just be honest. Masvidal the truth is that Masvidal did not deserve this shot.
No.
He didn't.
No, he didn't.
He didn't deserve this title shot. He got it off of his popularity, but he just had no business being in there with Usman. None.
No. There's levels to this, and he just, And it was Usman who called him out, right?
Yeah.
Because the first fight he was making excuses about 2 weeks notice or whatever.
Yeah. Usman was like, "Okay, come see me again. Let's do this again. This time I'm gonna finish you." And he did. He did. Second longest win streak in UFC history. Bro, imagine
14 fights. Anderson Silva has 16.
Yeah.
He's gonna break that record.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's gonna break that record, I think.
Dude, imagine the confidence a man like Usman has, just walking around knowing you're this good. You're this good. You're this dangerous. It's just.
But he has such a great amount of, humility, right? Like,
Yes.
he's just such a
Yeah.
humble, grounded individual.
Yes, sir.
That he's confident, but he's not arrogant, right?
No,
There's
sir.
a huge difference between that. And so, yeah, I really like him. This guy's the real deal.
Yes.
Good dude.
Oh, I'm so glad, dude. Tonight was good, minus that one.
The
one.
unfortunate accident there. Yeah, but what a night to open up the
Dude,
UFC.
you have a great poker face, man. You have a great poker.
I don't remember what face I made, but I was like,
I literally couldn't tell what happened until I saw it.
I was like, it happened again, right? I like almost jumped off the couch, and I'm like, oh,
if you
man.
would have jumped off the couch, I would have 100% thought that Masvidal knocked him out. That's what I would have
Really?
thought. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Why?
Just because, man, I fall victim to this too. Coming into this fight, like I was saying, I thought that if anyone would get the KO, it would be Masvidal. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So this is like, I'm not surprised that Usman won the fight. I'm surprised that he knocked him out like that.
Gotcha.
Just
Yeah.
because it's never happened to Masvidal like this. It's never happened to him like this. To just get
You're right.
clean,
Because
yeah.
he's known for the knockouts, right?
Yeah.
He's known for the clean shots.
Yeah.
So,
So,
you know, I feel like Masvidal was just hyping this fight up. There was talk of him opening up a bare knuckle brawl fight league. Did you hear about that?
no. Okay.
Yeah. I don't even think that's legal in the U.S. So, wonder if he's going to Mexico or somewhere.
Jeez.
But I don't know how accurate that was. It was an article on one of the martial arts
Oh.
magazines I follow, so we'll see. But for sure, it humbled him. Maybe it was more of the marketing. I don't know. For sure, though, Usman is the man. He's proving it again. And I want to say, how long was his last fight? A month? A month and a half? 2 months?
Something like that. And well, not a month. It's actually I don't know.
I don't know, man. It wasn't that long ago. It was pretty recent. Maybe 2 months. Maybe I am exaggerating a little bit, but
Yeah.
it wasn't that long ago. And he called them out, and
Oh yeah.
they opened it up.
Oh
They
yeah.
opened it up. When was it?
I'm looking right now.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see. They can't say he's not a finisher now. They can't say
No.
that. Cannot say that.
No.
19 wins with only one loss. That is an incredible record. All right, let's see. His last fight was February the 13th.
So, a little over 2 months, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like it was, yeah. Yeah, so he came in, called him out, fought, and yeah, just showed the world.
Look
who
at
he
these.
is
Look at
again.
these ladies hanging out. That's not a lot of size difference between I mean, you see what I'm seeing? I'm like, hey.
yeah, you're like, well, that's what I'm saying, man. I think Amanda Nunes is pretty significantly bigger than her, which is
Than Valentina.
probably why that happened. Yeah, because she looks pretty. Not, I don't want to say small, just smaller. Because, oh gosh, you see Amanda Nunes walk in the octagon the other day when her wife fought. She's
huge.
She's a big girl,
big.
and she's a technical.
Yeah.
And even tactical, when you think of those two different words, technical is like her the way she moves, and then tactical, the way
plan.
she strategizes her game plan, right? Like those two things she does so well. Yeah, and I remember seeing her fight a few years ago and thinking, gosh, like I've been in the martial arts game a long time, right? I remember the old fights, but to see women's MMA so high level, like look how far we came. It's like, it's awesome to see them so technical, to see them like today we saw a knockout with a snap kick, right?
Yeah.
A roundhouse snap
Yeah.
kick. We never thought at least I didn't in the earlier days we'd ever see those type of knockouts in the UFC. right? You say, oh, that doesn't work in MMA. You know, stop practicing that. Well, you know, 10 years later, when people would, you know, this happened 10 years ago, like we're seeing it more. The snap kicks, the front kicks, the foot jabs, you know?
Yeah.
We're seeing these crazy knockouts, and it's because the fighters continue to evolve, because fighters like Namajunas and Rose, they've been training since they were so young, and their body has just adapted to this type of movement. It's just awesome to watch. Awesome to watch.
It's a good night. It is a very good night. Someone just sent me. Oh no, I missed it. Hold on. Steroids work. Get out of here. Shut your mouth. It's talking about Usman is on steroids. Of course, that's what they're gonna say.
No, man. Like, no. You can get a. I can get you a body type and show you what steroids looks like.
He's not on no steroids. Let's see.
No.
Uncle Step Back. Thank you for the $5 donation. Usman put the entire continent of Africa in the right hand. I mean, he threw that all the way from Burkina Faso. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He threw that all the way from Nigeria and blasted this dude in the face. I mean, he was catching him all day long with the jab, with that long jab, with the and this just Masvidal, man, just not taking this seriously.
Yeah.
Boom.
Instead of trying to regroup and trying to like circle out and just kind of catch himself. And he was doing a good job too with those body jabs, right?
Yes.
It seemed like the body jabs opened him up to regular jabs, to head jabs, and then he could set it up nicely.
Yes, sir.
Got the nice takedown from there, worked his way back to the feet. Just a well-rounded fighter, man. This is what a great way to open up.
God, I'm hoping the fans start to come around to Usman. I know he says some cringy stuff, and he can be a little bit odd, but yeah, I mean, he's a little bit cringe sometimes with the stuff that he says. But this man is a formidable champion. He's a great fighter, and I think he deserves respect from fans, especially now. Because,
what did they say about him? I didn't know this.
Well, a lot of people. Well, for one, a lot of people just don't like his personality. They think he's inauthentic. They call him LL Cool J. They think his personality is not like authentic. And before he started racking up these finishes, a lot of people, kind of looked at Usman as a decision machine. Like, he's boring. All he does is lay on you. His last fight against Masvidal, he leaned on Masvidal against the cage. It was a lot of foot stumps. And of course, he wasn't as aggressive as he was today. But recently, he's been getting finishes. He finished Kobe Covington, a man who's extremely difficult to beat, let alone finish. He finished Gilbert Burns, another man who's extremely difficult to beat, let alone finish. And now he just finished Jorge Masvidal, another guy who's very difficult to put away. So I think it's time for people to start giving Usman some respect. Not only he's a full fighter, he's a complete fighter. He can strike, he can grapple, really good jiu-jitsu, really good wrestling, very good conditioning. He's complete, and I think he deserves all the respect in the world right now.
Yeah.
And this man right now on the screen, Kobe Covington, that's next. That's next. All right, let's see. Someone sent Pickle. I'm not going to say that name, bro. If you don't mind, I'll just say Pickle and leave it at that. Thank you for the $15 donation. Tonight was absolutely wild. Yes, it was, bro. Vex Blazer, thank you for the $5. In my opinion, Usman can establish himself as the best welterweight of all time. I mean, he kind of already is, though. I mean, there's GSP for sure, but just look at the level of competition, right?
Yeah.
Look at the level of competition and the way he's putting these guys away. So.
Yeah, that talk about a super fight, right? If that ever.
No, GSP's not fighting Usman.
He's done.
No.
After Bisping, he's like, nah, I'm good, retired. I'll go back retired.
Yeah. Plus, GSP right now wants to do things that no one has ever done before. For example, fighting Habib and beating Habib. That would be that would be a legendary thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what he wants. But it's just not going to happen. Khabib has retired. So,
What weight class was GSP?
welterweight,
Welterweight.
170.
So same one. Is this
As Usman. Yep.
Yeah, okay, 170. But he went up against Bisping, right?
Yep. He went to 185.
185, yeah. I do remember that. That was it. And he looked bigger, but he did look gassed. I remember that.
Oh, yeah. If you listen to his podcast with Joe Rogan, I mean, he talks about how he regrets getting that big. Yeah, because in his mind, he thought he had to be super, big to be able to deal with Michael Bisping, but it almost cost him the fight. I mean,
Yeah, because had he not knocked him out, and it would have gone to decision, it wouldn't have been good for him.
Yeah.
I do remember that. But yeah, this is a different generation. These are different, level of fighters now.
Yes.
It's grown so much since then. This is not to knock on the success of fighters like GSP and BJ Penn, because back then they had their own troubles and different fighters then. But now the sport continues to evolve. It's more technical. It's more, strategic. Now the fighters, if they, back in the day, I don't know if you remember this, they were able to work full time and still train full time, which was crazy. Now you can't. You can't do that. You're a professional athlete. You got to be training full time. You have a camp. You have the grappling coach. You have the striking coach. You have the strength and conditioning coach. You have the mental coach, right? The sports psychologist, and they all come together and they help you just stay tuned up for your next fight. And if you're not doing any of those things, you're gonna end up paying for it. And you could just see the body types in these fighters too. They just look superhuman, right?
Yeah.
Like they're superheroes.
Yeah.
Right? It's just amazing to see. Whereas you look back at 10 years, even 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, the fighting was a lot different. The strategy was different. The techniques were the same. The tactics were different. It's just the way they approached the game. So good job tonight, man. These were great fights.
Incredible. Yo, Oscar, thank you for the $5. Who do I think Masvidal should fight next? You think he should fight Vicente Luque? Doesn't Vicente Luque have a fight? I think Vicente Luque actually has a fight coming up, man. I don't remember who he's fighting next, but I think he has a fight coming up. But I don't know. I think he needs to take time off. He just got KO'd.
Yeah, just regroup.
Yep. He needs time off. He needs time off for that brain to heal.
Yeah, that was he was taking damage before that too.
Yeah.
And then that shot that did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Such an emotional night. Highs, lows, some upset.
All right, so let's just do a quick recap. So, let's see. Fight card started off with what's his name?
Andrew Smith.
Yeah. Anthony Smith versus
Anthony Smith.
Yeah, Anthony Smith versus who did he fight? I keep forgetting this dude's name. Come on, load. There we go. Anthony Smith versus Jimmy Crute.
Yeah.
That's how it started off.
Yeah.
I don't know if we saw that together, right?
We did see that. Yeah, we did.
Oh, Rob Reed, thank you for $2. Valentina versus Amanda needs to happen, in my opinion. I agree. Yeah, so that's the fight where Anthony Smith
the low leg kick.
Jesus, man.
The low leg kick, man.
To prepare us.
I know, right? like if we didn't need to have that happen right after that low leg kick, man, it messed him up. And then Crute tried to disguise it with his wrestling, and pretty successfully actually. It kind of fooled me for like a second, like, oh, maybe it's not that bad. But when he walked to his corner, they knew something was off. He couldn't even stand on it, and it was smart to call that fight because he doesn't want to do any permanent damage. Your adrenaline's so high that you forget, like, oh, I'm good, I can keep going, but you actually do more damage than good. You need to just rest it, get it taken care of. Don't let it get worse because you can damage whatever, joint or tendons or whatever's damaged at that. So that was a smart call. Good job for Smith.
It's just crazy how that happens. I mean, so many leg kicks get thrown in fights, and then just one random one. And usually with that kind of injury, I believe it's a peroneal nerve injury. I think I said that correctly. Usually with that, Gabriel, thank you for the $2. You reckon Usman will go up to face his bro? No. He's not gonna fight. He's not gonna fight Izzy. That's not gonna happen. Okay, folks. Usman will not fight Izzy. Won't happen. All right. So usually when that injury happens to the nerve, it's usually on the low calf kick. But the kick that Anthony landed was like, I think it was above the knee, like the thigh, and it just did something. I mean, I don't know the mechanics or the biology. I don't understand exactly what happened, but just to see his leg just completely get compromised like that, couldn't step on it, couldn't. But he was game. He wanted to continue. He was like,
so I don't know if it was the that's a good question, right? Like when he's getting work done right now by the medical team, was it the knee? Was it the ankle? Was it both? I don't know. It didn't look well at all. He just folded.
Yeah.
He just folded, and it could be.
Yeah. See. Yeah. Above the knee, right there. Whew.
But his ankle kept folding, right?
Yeah.
Like it couldn't hold it. So maybe it was the ankle, but it was above the knee, like you're saying.
So it's some kind of nerve damage right there. Mm-hmm. It's some kind of nerve damage, and then it's Chris Weidman versus Uriah Hall, a fight that just for the most part I expected to go longer, to see some wrestling, some grappling, and just the first leg kick Weidman throws.
Yeah.
His leg gets broken.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if I don't remember if Uriah was in southpaw or if he was conventional when that happened. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Because we usually see that when a southpaw kicks a conventional fighter or a conventional fighter kicks a southpaw, just because of the way the fighters are positioned. It's a lot easier to do damage with the check like that. So I don't remember if that's what happened, but just to see that injury happened to the same exact guy that was on the other side of it against Anderson Silva. It's almost like, did somebody put a curse on Weidman?
Right? Like you hate to think like that, but it almost makes you question things entirely. We're like, what the heck did I just see? And if you're a fan the way we've been fans for years, right? And we go back, I still remember that night that happened. Oh my gosh, right? Like we're all just freaking out. It was almost identical. Yeah. It was a leg. He checked the low leg. Yeah. It was just a simple checking of the leg.
Jeez Louise, man.
Yeah. And same thing. If you play it in slow motion, I do remember this because same thing happened to Anderson. As it happens, you still don't know until you find out there's no foot to land on.
And until he steps on it. Yeah. And then it bends the other. Oh.
Yeah, bends the other way, and so the bone is clearly broken. Jeez. They're gonna have to do some fusion. He's not gonna be able to kick like that ever again. And if he does decide to come back, he's gonna stay away from kicks and just focus on boxing. Which, there's a lot to be said about that too. As much as the flashy kicks we saw today, like with Rose, traditional boxing. I mean, look at how Usman used really a lot of boxing today. Just coming up with, just straight body jabs, head jabs, weave, came for the takedown, came back up, connected that jab again, and then as it opened up that right cross that just came from on the other side of the world.
Burkina Faso. And just crazy.
It's just, So
I think a lot of fighters are going to start just questioning the whole leg kick thing. Because right now, there's just a lot of questions surrounding leg kicks. One, the calf kicks, I think this is really going to make calf kicks a lot more attractive to people.
Yeah.
Because the calf kick is so low, you save yourself from dealing with that kind of shin injury. So I think this injury to Chris right now, it's gonna make the calf kick so much more attractive to people.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then if you're fighting a southpaw or if you're a southpaw facing someone that's not a southpaw, maybe it's just not the smartest thing to try to kick him in the legs. Period. Just because of how, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you've trained stand up, right? When you
Yeah.
get your leg checked like that, it's not a good feeling.
No, I mean,
especially it's
awful.
just not a good feeling. And so a good question is a question. I don't know. I'll ask you, like, where are we on? People have always, and I've been doing martial arts jiu-jitsu for a long time, as you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do we say about the traditional martial arts in terms of the stuff that does work that we're seeing now, like the snap kick, like the front kick, like the roundhouse, like even the spinning back kick?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying, because there's a lot of people that were just completely bash traditional martial arts, and then there's guys that just live and die by traditional martial arts. Well, what if they're both wrong, right? Where there's somewhere in the middle where they can use some of those useful resources and stuff.
Yeah. See, the Muay Thai style has huge benefits. Mm-hmm. The benefit is that if I land a good Muay Thai style leg kick on you, you're gonna be limping for days. That's the benefit. The con is if you check one of those, you can do catastrophic damage to me just because of the mechanics of the kick, the rotation of the hip, how much power you're putting into it. It's a double-edged sword. When it works, it's great. When it doesn't work, it's catastrophic. Meanwhile, you look at the more traditional kicks like the karate and the taekwondos, they're snappier, they're faster. They don't do as much damage, but the risk of injury is lower. So it's it's a trade-off, right? It's like
but even today we saw that kick with Rose, right? Like, it did amazing damage because she landed it at the right place at the right time,
and it was unexpected. She didn't see it, so yeah. Especially when it's like when the kicks are going high, I think it's safer. Like the Muay Thai style, it's safer if you're going above the knee. So it's if you're firing kicks to the body, I favor the Muay Thai style. Just because even if you're trying to block it, I mean it will shatter your elbows. I mean you're not breaking someone's shin if they're kicking your elbows. I mean it's deadly. But the leg kicks, I think that's where a lot of fighters will have to start maybe questioning, should I be using Thai style leg kicks? Because even though it's good, man, you get checked.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, right? So you start thinking of Muay Thai as a system of a combat system, because I studied it, you studied it. I didn't do it nearly as long as I would want to, but something is like that, the clinch game, the knees, the elbows, the spinning back fist, like those, the Superman punch or whatever. GSP was always famous for that stuff. The flying knee. Those are technical movements that do work.
Yes.
But the low leg kick is one of those scary ones. We're seeing it now where, after a certain amount of years of this leg kick, your body's going to take a toll.
Yeah.
So this is where MMA becomes the beautiful system art that it is, because now the fighter has to fine-tune the techniques for them.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest. I'll be very honest. I'm guilty of this, and I'll just flat out say it. I was one of those highly critical individuals about traditional martial arts a long time ago. I do jiu-jitsu, the traditional martial arts are not as effective, and there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
Before I go back what I'm about to say,
I mean, Wing Chun is not it's not effective. Get out of here.
Right? And
Jeet Kune Do is no.
And I think the truth is that, like, people know something like jiu-jitsu, wrestling is very effective for a real fight. I think we know that already. If not, the military and the law enforcement wouldn't be practicing it as much. But I had a really good judo coach for a few years, and I stayed in touch with him. And in the years, I respected him so much. He was just a great, great instructor, a professor, and he was a great man off the mats. So I respected it, a lot of the things he said. And he practiced judo, so he came from a judo perspective. But his judo was old Japanese judo. It wasn't the new judo now, so he didn't know the rules. He just taught you what his instructor taught him, and he was an older man from Mexico, and his instructor was from Japan. And I actually connected the dots. Linearly, he was from lineage-wise, he was from Mifune, who's an old student of Jigoro Kano. Amazing history, right? And I just fell into this guy's lap, really by accident. It was awesome. And he passed away a few years ago. But before he passed away, we'd have conversations, and because of the conversations I had with him, it made me really respect traditional martial arts, because he practiced not only judo, he practiced karate, and he practiced Aikido. And even Aikido, I was very critical of. He said there's a certain way of how he practiced it. It was a lot like his judo. Now, this man, you have to realize, he's like 70 years old. He had a heart pacer. He would grab you with his fingertips and throw you like a rag doll. Didn't matter how good your wrestling was, your judo was. I got to experience his teaching and his lessons, and he really made me just open my mind more. So I'm a lot less critical of traditional martial arts, and we're starting to see what someone like him was saying, which was, hey, there's a place for traditional martial arts.
Yeah.
The problem is people have ruined them for so many years that they get watered down, at some places, that then it becomes this like belt system where they're just handing them out, basically, right? But when you see it perfected in the craft that we saw tonight, there's some, traditional karate 50 years ago is not the same thing as the karate that's being taught now. Yeah. And this is my biggest fear about jiu-jitsu. If we're not careful, it could happen to jiu-jitsu.
It's going to get so...
50 years from now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe not now, but 50 years from now, when people have forgotten, because jiu-jitsu was primarily known for self-defense and MMA. Really just no holds barred. Like, how can you take the guy? So anyway, I just thought
I think at the end of the day, Bruce Lee's philosophy of, taking what is useful and discarding what is not, I think at the end of the day, that is the absolute proper philosophy to take. Mindset to use when you're a mixed martial arts. And it's kind of weird me saying that because I'm not a fighter, but I think it just makes sense, right? For sure. Just examine every single thing you have at your fingertips. Look at all the different martial arts, and then just pick out what is useful, and then what is not, discarded. And this is like for a very long time, someone like Conor McGregor was able to find a tremendous amount of success without throwing roundhouse kicks to the legs. The only type of attacks he would do to the legs were the obliques and the front leg side kick. That's it. He wouldn't throw the regular roundhouse. And he was asked why, and he talked about just because of how much damage it did to the person that's kicking. And that's the thing with Muay Thai that, I noticed myself, that even if they're not checking it, even if you're just slamming the kick and you're landing, you still walk out of the fight limping. It's like... okay, I'm doing damage, but for some reason I'm still hurt. And that's striking in general, but I feel like if fighters can find a way to minimize that, right? To be able to do damage to my opponent without taking damage in return, just inherently, just from kicking, maybe I can find a martial art that allows me to do that is useful in that way. So maybe that's where the traditional arts can come in. The leg kicks, for example, maybe not the Muay Thai style. Maybe we go with the obliques, the front leg side kick, the snap kicks, the low calf kicks, but not the super turn and rotation of the hip to slam it in. Maybe we leave, maybe we move away from that. But then with the body kicks, with the head kicks, we stick with Muay Thai. And also some other traditional stuff. So it will depend on the fighter, their body type, what they're good at, and all that. But yeah, you're right. All of these martial arts have a place. I don't know what place Aikido has, dude. It's gonna be hard for me to get behind Aikido. It's just, I think Steven Seagal has ruined it for everybody.
I think a majority of and I could be wrong, but a majority of what happened in Aikido is like the water downing of their martial art. Like, I think at some point, because I believe the founder was from the same roots as Jigoro Kano, which was Judo Jiu-Jitsu. But somewhere along the line, on his own path, he was doing well. His students probably did well, but the future students just ruined it. People like Steven Seagal. Of course, Steven Seagal corners Anderson Silva one fight, right, or something, and it's his snap kick, front kick that knocked out Vitor Belfort. So, but having this conversation with this individual, I remember this was maybe like 12 years ago. I told him about Muay Thai. I said, hey, what about Muay Thai? You can just learn these basic kicks. And he told me, of course, in Spanish, because this was a long time ago, in the border, he told me, but the guy who does Muay Thai for too long will pay for it when they're older. Yeah. And the guy who does a traditional kick will never have to limp again. I remember him telling me this, and I was like, So I always remembered every time I did my Thai kicks, I'd get a little sore. I was like, I know what he's talking about. And so we're starting to see this. Like, when the first Anderson Silva fight happened, where he broke his shin, right? Like the whole bottom of his foot came off almost. I thought of him, and so I it doesn't mean that, you know, the traditional martial arts are all great. Doesn't mean they're all bad. It just means that a lot has happened over the years.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has truthfully been watered down. But you could still find some schools out there that are trying to be real to the tradition of the art, you know. And you'll hear some of it, like going back to this individual, he would tell me, I don't believe in these karate tournaments with points, because the way we did them, it was full contact.
Yeah.
Now you can't do that now, right? Because gosh, you get one kid hurt, you forget about it. They talk about lawsuits, and we're talking about offending people. Mm-hmm. This is a very, very soft society now, right? So
my God.
you can't do full contact anymore like that. It's just not business wise. It doesn't work out for the karate schools or the taekwondo schools. But if we could go back to the traditions of why they practice them and really, really understand that, there's a lot that we can gain, I think, from some of these traditional martial arts. I don't know about Aikido. Maybe Aikido 50 years ago, right? If we had a time machine and went back then, I don't know if anyone can practice it truthfully the way it was supposed to be practiced, because it is a branch of judo and jiu-jitsu. It's just somewhere along the way, right? It got watered down. People try to... I still remember at one of my first jiu-jitsu schools, we'd roll, and it was like we'd share mat time with an Aikido school. And we're about to... Yeah, it was so weird, right? And so we would get ready to roll, and like some, you know, overweight Aikido student would come walk in with a bunch of like swords and stuff. And, and he would tell us right before about to roll, oh, they didn't tell you? Today we canceled your open mat, and because we're going to do an Aikido seminar. And we're like... And we're listening to this guy. We got to leave now because of this guy. You know, what if we say no? No, we didn't say that. But
what are you going to do if we say no?
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna ankle lock me and flip me? No, you're not going to do anything.
He might take out a wooden sword, man. I remember he had a bag. Of
he's going to hit you over the head with a wooden sword.
That one really got to use jiu-jitsu. But yeah, so these conversations are good. Now I'm at a point where, in the past, I would be overly critical and judge someone from a traditional martial arts background. Now I take a minute and I say, okay, well, where do you train and who are you under? And let me see some of that. And so there is a lot we could learn from it. Unfortunately, people aren't taking the time to do it, I think. And go back to what you said. Bruce Lee said it, right? Like Bruce Lee's whole Jeet Kune Do philosophy was that. And the whole idea was, hey, I learned boxing for my martial arts. Boxing has the best striking with hands for your hands. Bruce Lee said it himself. Mm-hmm. And it is a staple in MMA. You need to know boxing to be in MMA. You need to know jiu-jitsu to be in MMA. You need to know wrestling to be in MMA. Those are like the staples, right? The striking art, the grappling art, and the takedown art. Mm-hmm. And then you have the outliers, the judo Olympian, or, you know, the crazy kickboxer who fought K1, right? Or the jiu-jitsu world champion, right? And that becomes the identity of the fighter, and then they have to kind of find themselves. Yeah. So great stuff, man. Yeah. Great stuff. So
all right. So how many people are still in here? Well, we've still got about 500 people still in here.
Awesome.
Okay. Not bad. Hold on. Because I'm trying to
So check this out. Rose made history. She's the first woman in UFC history to recapture the championship. It's never been done by a woman.
There you go.
Win, lose, and then win again.
There you go.
Amazing.
She got it done.
Got it done. Good for her. They're gonna sell this rematch though.
With Weili.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
They're gonna say, "Oh well, it happened. It could be. Let's have them fight it again. Let's give them another camp." I could see it. I'll watch it. Heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good one. Okay. But yeah, let's see. I want to say thank you to everybody that showed up. Thank you. Really appreciate it. You guys were respectful. You hung out. We'll do this. I don't know how often I can get Amir 3D. Thank you. Appreciate that, bro. Thank you for putting the link in there. You guys go follow go follow Professor Tony. Go follow Professor Tony Caceres on YouTube, please. I'm trying to
Thanks
get.
so much for that.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. You guys go subscribe. I'm trying to figure out how to get a link to your channel. Like, Amir 3D, you're the only mod in here. Can you do me a favor? Can you get a link to Tony's YouTube channel and just put it in the chat, please? Just so it's easy. I'm pretty sure you know how to find it. You could just type in Tony Caceres BJJ, you're gonna find him. You just get a link and just put it in the chat. I do it myself, but can't really do it right now. There it is. He just put it in the chat. You guys go right ahead, click that link, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing a lot of fight breakdowns. We're probably actually going to do some breakdowns on some of the fights that happened today. I don't know which ones yet, but we'll definitely be doing fight breakdowns, and all of those fight breakdowns will be on that channel. So if you guys want to see me involved in that stuff, subscribe to the channel. Nick, thank you for the $5 donation. So has Trevor Weidman solidified himself as the best coach in MMA in the world? Yes. Essentially, I would say yes, he's the best coach in MMA right now. But that is it, folks. We are going to get out of here. Tony, thank you so much for being here, man. I really appreciate it. This was fun. I don't know. When's the next card? Let me see.
So, main pay-per-view card or
yeah,
regular card?
Nah, just like actual pay-per-view. Maybe we could do this again.
Yeah,
we'll see. So, 262.
May.
Yeah. Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. Leon Edwards is fighting Nate Diaz. Tony Ferguson's coming back, folks. I know you guys are excited about that. Fighting Beneil Dariush. And then Edson Barboza versus Shane Burgos. Oh my God. That is going to be a legit fight. So that is it. Maybe we'll do this again. Maybe not. It all depends. So before we go, tomorrow you said I can show up. I can just show up around like 12, right? Like I don't have to be there. Like
no, you can show up whenever you want, man.
Okay.
It's gonna be all day from like 9 a.m. is the kids. The adults is like at 12:30.
Okay.
And then the colored belts is like later at 4, I think.
How many of your color belts are competing tomorrow? Do you know?
Yeah, we got Sach, we got Fernie, Milo.
Fernie is competing?
Yeah, he's competing. Yeah, he's on weight. He feels fresh.
Is it okay if I scream like his name the whole entire time?
Oh man, you could. Yeah, he'd love that. He'd love that for sure. For sure.
Fernie is the guy that I rolled with in the video. He was my very first professor. Okay, so I have a special place in my heart for that man. He's the guy that taught me how to break fall, the technical stand up. He taught me my very first self defense technique. Taught me my very first mount escape. Very first guard break, very first re-guard technique. Just most of the basics I learned from him, and he is Tony's baby brother. So
that's right.
He's competing tomorrow. Solid blue belt. I mean, he's probably like a purple at this point, man, isn't he?
So you know, did we ever talk about it? Because I had him start early, but my mom always, you know.
Yeah, we talked about it.
And pulled him out. So I'd be like, hey man, we got to train. And he was like 11, 12, and then my mom would pull him out, and then a few years later he'd be 15, 16. All right, I'm gonna start training again. He would, and then he'd get out because of sports, and then he'd be like, hey, I got in a scuffle at school. Like, how did it go? Oh man, I choked him out. I was like, dude, you haven't even been training. He goes, I know. Like, I'm probably terrible at your school, but to a non-jiu-jitsu person, I just was taking candy from a baby. So throughout the years, he would train here and there. So I always tell him, I go, dude, if you not quit, you'd be a black belt by now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be a black belt by now. But
Can't
now
wait.
He knows that. So now he's really, really rededicating. And recently he's really been training more, which has been great. So he's competing.
Beautiful.
Milo's competing.
Oh.
Milo's competing. And Milo has like this. He competed last time and he lost one match. He won like 8 of them, but he lost one, and that one loss just it bit him hard. He was talking about it, and so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna show up and I'm not gonna lose. Like he's a little upset. So he has his fire, so he'll be there. Other colored belts, Sach. I don't know if you know Sach. He's an older gentleman. He'll be competing. man.
Do you have a brown competing?
Yeah. We have 1, 2, 3 brown belts, I think. 3 brown belts.
Okay.
Adam, Mike,
Adam,
Kevin.
okay.
Yeah, they're competing. Ted will be there coaching,
Okay.
I believe. Luis might go to coach as well. And I think that's it for color belts. I know there's probably going to be a few others that I didn't say. Anyway,
Okay.
we're taking a lot of white belts, so
Okay.
they'll be the ones mostly competing.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, show up when you can, and I'll
Okay.
be there all day
All right.
coaching. So
Okay. Yeah, I'll be there.
Thank you so much for having me, man. This was an honor. It was awesome to be able to look at these fights with you, and for all the support you've been giving me. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Yeah, it's great. It's great having you, man.
For sure.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, I'll definitely see you tomorrow. Before I head over there, I'll shoot you a text and just let you know, so that hopefully I can find you when I get there. Something like a lost puppy or something. So
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, definitely. Just
Yeah.
communicate with me, and we'll make it happen.
okay, you got it. All right, folks. Thank you. Lastly, Jake Loden, you're a little bit late, bro. I missed you, but I'm glad that you showed up finally. Thank you for the $5 donation. Rose shocked the hell out of me tonight. It was crazy. Yes, it was. All right, folks, we're going to go to bed. Peace out. You guys have a great night. I might do a recap tonight. I might not. We'll see. Either tonight or tomorrow, but you guys will definitely see me again tomorrow. So have a good night, folks. Stay safe. Go ahead and end this right here. All right, Tony, I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you
All right,
later,
bro.
man.
Have a good
Thanks
night.
so much. You too, man. Take care.